Yeah. I'll grab the other batteries. Just keep an eye on. That's your volume knob. Now that's down, and then if you click it, that goes off. It's created full static, so let me just be mindful that it's high.
So don't speak into it.
Only when you're not using it, put it. When it dies,
Video and audio stream through taccup.com.au. This is TAC Cup Radio.
Good morning and welcome from Rams Arena in Craigieburn. It is round 7 action. It's the Calder Cannons taking on the Northern Knights to kick off a triple header here, and we're covering the first game of the triple header. Phil Crooks behind mic 1 or headset 1, and joining me in the commentary today will be Rick Morris. How are you, Rick?
Good morning, Crooksy, and always a good day, the breast cancer fundraiser for the Calder Cannons that they have out here each year, and a great crowd in the breakfast there behind us.
They're just before you got here, they had a very good talk to the two coaches, Justin Wenke and Ross Smith. You'd be fond of Ross. Former North star on the half-back flank there, and Justin's in a bit of Barney rubble. He had hurt his back during the week. He's not actually supposed to be here.
Okay, good. Well, the whole executive as well.
And hello, Ryan Geechan, if he's tuned in. He's in a bit of Barney rubble as well with some tummy trouble. So a great breakfast, well attended by the parents, and it's still going on at the moment. And there's a few other functions happening throughout that. Joining us in special comments today is Matty Cox. How are you, Matt?
Yeah, very well, Crooksy. A bit brisk out here on the balcony compared to in that breakfast room. It was nice and cosy, but the wind's not as bad as what it usually is here at Rams Arena, and it looks as though, looking at the flag just in front of us, it is blowing to the northern end of the ground, which is, again, rare.
Rare, yeah. Normally it's howling down to the city end.
The only thing I'll say with that is the last time it was blowing to the north, we got rained on.
We did. So and Matt, I reckon that when we went to the breakfast last year, it was about 2 degrees. We're rugged up to the filio, so it's not as bad as that. But anyway, it'll be a good game today. And on our player watch today, we have Siobhan Rowe. How are you, Siobhan?
G'day, Crooksy. Looking forward to today in blustery conditions. I'm looking forward to having a look at two very, very good players for both sides and some other players to keep an eye on today.
Who are they? Let us in on the secret.
For the Calder Cannons, I'll be looking at the Cannons co-captain Mitch Podjavsky. Hopefully I got that right. Last week, he led his team to victory in wet conditions in arguably one of the best midfield performances this year, amassing 27 disposals, 7 marks, a whopping 15 tackles, and he kicked 3 goals. And for the Northern Knights, I'll be looking at the Knights' #1 ruckman, Thomas Halliburton. I'm looking for him to go forward today. He's been in great form giving the Knights midfielders first use with his ruck work. Against Cooper Lamb today, I think that he may have another dominant game in the ruck with his tap work. Also keeping an eye on today, Ryan Gardner from the Knights and Curtis Taylor from the Cannons.
Fantastic stuff. The umpires have entered the arena. We'll have no trouble in picking up the footballs today, Rick, if you just see them in the middle of the ground.
I still have trouble. Don't worry about that.
You can't see that they are luminescent pink.
They are luminous pink, but I like the red ones.
And the goal umpires are wearing the Breast Cancer Network beanies as well.
And both teams are just entering the arena. The Calder Cannons are wearing a special edition Guernsey today. So normally they have the blue with the orange and the cannon motif. And today they've got the blue and the pink. They look pretty striking there, and the Knights in their traditional stuff. We will take a break, be back on the other side of this for round 7 action here from Rams Arena. You are locked into TAC Cup Radio.
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years.
Really,
Technica
Leah?
appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design,
Hello.
providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances. Executive Maintenance has grown to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio. Another year of TAC Cup football and your number one AFL draft
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central. Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it! He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars.
Turn it off
Go
and then turn it
Power.
on when I speak.
Cowboys Cash and Carry has moved. They can now be found at 694 High Street, Epping, in the hub in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza. And to celebrate the move, they have 50,000 pairs of men's and ladies' denim. A huge range of styles, including Kenji, Maya, Maddox, that normally retail for $100. Cowboys price between $10 and $15. That's right, between $10 and $15. Open 7 days a week. Get along to Cowboys Cash and Carry in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza. Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com. On taccup.com.au, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Rams Arena. The players are just about to get set for the first of 3 games here, and we're looking after the first, the Calder Cannons and the Northern Knights. And I might get your selections. I'll start with Siobhan down the other end.
Yep, the Knights have brought in lots of players today, but I think the Cannons may just be a little bit too strong, especially in their midfield. So I'm tipping the Cannons in a really close one today.
I'm going to go with the Knights. I think they showed a little bit last week when we called them against the Murray Bushrangers. They've got a few players back in the side, so expecting the Knights to get over the line here at Rams Arena today.
And Rick?
Yeah, I'm going with the Knights. I think they've shown enough to be a part of this game, and it's traditional rivalry. Isn't it?
There's no love.
They're pretty close, Cannons versus Knights. So I think the Knights will have an opportunity today to get a win on the board.
I think if you look in the footy record, it might say that I went for the Cannons. Don't tell anyone, but I'm actually going for the Knights.
Do I need to?
Well, I'm counting the Cannons.
Yeah, well, it's official. It's a record because I think I'm leading in the tip.
Well, you're not again, Em.
You're level with.
I might last again.
Anthony Stangers.
You're only a point behind. All right, the umpire is in the middle of the ground. He holds the pink chair aloft. round 7 action. Take it away, Rick.
And the ball up this time, straight away. Halliburton with a tap out down towards that centre part of the square. They're trying to bustle their way out of trouble there, the Cannons, with the pink Guernseys on, and Pack's form a little bit slippery underfoot. Very green top today. And the umpire will have another ball up. We're 5 metres closer to the Knights' goal. And Halliburton using his strength there to push his player out of the way. Gets a tap on. Running onto it was Land, who gets it down towards half forward. They'll mop up here, the Knights, and the kick goes down forward. And that player, not on our list, Crooksy, I don't think. And out of bounds it goes. We'll get Siobhan to look up number 12 for us. Ball in at half forward here for the Northern Knights, and we've got Halliburton this time up against Lamb. They get it down. Oh, that fresh air shot out of trouble there, but players landing on top of the ball can't quite paddle it out, and the umpires let him go. Eventually another tackle's laid, and he'll have to come in this time and ball it up. No further to go, and the Knights attacking still.
Player 12 in the record, Rick, is Joel Naylor.
Oh, Naylor, how can we forget him? Booming kick. Out it comes, out of trouble. Now they might be able to break it open here, the Knights. And, good evasion there by Potter. He lost it again. And the pink ball goes down towards half forward. Intercept here, smother. Pretty good harassing from both times. Oh, beautiful pick up. Lodgy gets it down towards the forward pocket. Streaming towards goal, but out of bounds it goes. And we'll have a throw in 20 metres out from the Northern Knights goal.
Just having a look at the ground condition, heard during the breakfast a little earlier, there's been around 70 games that have already been played on Rams Arena in 2018, and it is in great nick just looking across the field.
Halliburton over to the top, into the goal square, kick off the ground was smothered. Players all around, there's 15 around this, paddling it around that goal square, trying to break free, out into a little snap for goal, and it was just touched on the line. Really good play by that player there in Di Tenisante. I think his dad might have played for Preston, Crooksy, from a long time ago. Good player, West Preston people, from memory. And a mark in the back line to the Calder Cannons, and we've got a switch. Oh, mongrel kick towards centre half back. It's in trouble. Picked up that time and shot towards goal for a behind. Main was the man there. Ball staying on the carpet a bit at the moment, and not getting a lot of distance in these kicks right now.
It's a very congested defensive 50 at the moment for the Cannons. Not a lot of room to move, and the couple of opportunities for goal for the Knights, they've just been hoping kicks.
They'll switch it wide to the outer side. Oh, great intercept there. They'll pay that. And that is Brazier, Sonny Brazier, I think it is, out in the outer. He'll go to a lead. Beautiful pass on the chest. That's what you like as a forward. And the kick for goal will be taken by Uzelak. And he's about 35 out on an angle, but not a difficult kick. We've seen plenty kick from that pocket.
Different role for Uzelak today by the looks of things. He was the #1 defender last week for the Northern Knights, having a shot on goal now, whether he's pressed up the ground with all this congestion or whether he is starting out of the goal square.
And he's kicked under it, kicked like a backman, that's for sure, and out in the fill it went.
Living up to the reputation. I think he'll be getting back down to full back very soon.
Anyway, they'll chip it inboard, and we've got a mark in the back pocket. The Cannons in the pink. They get it across to Musa in the back pocket. He'll go wide. Plenty to work with. And that kick goes down towards half forward. Fumble, bit of a collision. And trying to paddle it out. They get it out, and eventually the Knights and kick it down towards full forward. Got an opportunity in the goal square. It's a mark. And this will be Della Rocca. Well, he's more on an angle now. And we've got a great sider of this one, and he's just got to kick through the middle here, Matt, from here.
He does.
Doesn't have to allow too much.
First 4 minutes of the game on the Technica time clock have all been the way of the Knights, so They've had 2 scoring opportunities already. This one needs to go through the middle if they want to capitalise on the early momentum.
Patrick Della Rocca comes in and kicks through the middle for a goal. First one of the game. Northern Knights 1 goal to 8 are leading the Calder Cannons yet to score, and that is on the NG scoreboard. And we're a few minutes in. We're up to the 10-minute mark, or sorry, 4-minute mark, 4.5-minute mark. 10 o'clock it is on the Technica time clock.
It's been an interesting start to the match. Northern Knights have had the possession, as I was just saying, and good that they were able to capitalise on the scoreboard.
Back in the middle, bit of a scramble, scragging going on, gang tackling, and we'll have a ball up. We might have a blood rule here, and that is Brazier coming off. Quick blood rule spotted by the umpire.
Another one that had an okay performance last week against the Murray Bushrangers, Sonny Brazier.
So we had, taking his place, we had Yogi, and also dual interchange there with number 41 for the Knights.
Which is Xavier Bateman in our footy record.
So back inside it comes. Nice hands out the back, Carappa. He goes wide to Gardner, who kicks long to a one-on-one. Over the back it goes. Knights in the van, doing all the attacking at this minute. And out of bounds it goes, Della Riva. The last one on it, Della Rocca.
Part of the reason for the Knights' dominance has been Tom Halliburton's ruck work. He's already won 5 of the 6 ruck contests.
Yes, he has. And there'll be a throw-in. We're right in the forward pocket deep. Tackle there, and we'll have a ball up again.
Again, heard a little earlier that the Cannons have come in quite small to today's game, so that does give Halliburton a bit of an advantage in the ruck duel.
He goes up again and taps it forward. Just trying to get a kick in. They can't. A lot of Cannons around it. Another forward pocket pile up. I think they've got to do something with these stacks on the middle at TAC Cup level, Crooksy. That's my observation over the years. Far too many. And it's continuous. Each week we see it. Out of the back, kick towards goal. Spilt mark. Leaves the night open for the Knights. They paddle it out. No clear possession. Ball's a bit slippery on the deck. And I don't know whether it's a pink footy that's slippery or the grass is a little bit too green for them.
Here's a history lesson for everyone. You used to make TW Sherrins in the old days, Rick, didn't you?
One of my first jobs.
And if you have a different colour, they have a bit of a different coating on them, don't they?
Yeah, it's just not quite as easy to mark as the red. And we've got a kick on goal this time, and that was a free kick paid to Lucenti, who kicks the goal. Yeah, the red's always a bit easier in the hand. I know when they first brought out the yellow ones, they were very slippery for the night footy, and then they changed it to more a mustard colour. But nowadays they seem to have got the yellow ones right.
All right, the NG scoreboard 2-2-14 to the Northern Knights. Calder yet to score, and we are 8 minutes in on the Technica time clock. Up she goes, Hallibone up against Naylor. Ball in dispute in the middle of the ground. Knights have got it, quick hands, Potter set upon. Very impressive last week, Lachlan Potter, Rick.
Right, yep.
Loves to get the ball, loves a bit of green grass in front of him, has a couple of bounces and starts on a gallop. Up they go again. Good work by Naylor, he gets the ball down. Cannons are going to get a clearance. Wheeling around is Dylan Lant. He goes inboard, drop what should have been taken. A little bit laconic, but effective all the same. Goes in short, we're inside 50. Cannons, close to the boundary line and out of bounds. Little Firebrace, Jakey Firebrace couldn't pick up the slippery ball. He's got the right idea. He's got the long sleeves on today. Ball to be thrown in, 25 metres around from the Cannons' goal. They're kicking to the northern end. Up she goes, tap down in front. Trying to work the ball clear is Wild. He's caught up and the ball will be thrown up. Still inside 50.
Cannons have a loose player just off the ball here, Lachlan Scholl on the centre wing in case it pops out quickly.
Ball just thrown up. Hellybone misses it. Comes out the back. This is taken here by Yogi. He kicks forward. Oh, safe mark. Taken to Ryan Gardner. Gardner kicks to half back. He's got Brazier. Wants to get on with it. Just held up a little bit. He's on true half back right in front of the stand. Goes in short. Paddy Della Rocca. Della Rocca again a bit hesitant. Told to play on. Goes along the line. He's going to find a man all by himself. Is that deliberate, Rick?
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, jeez, benefit of the doubt. He just came in and punched the ball 30 metres over the line.
I saw nothing.
Not a give up. Good morning to Gabe Sorrentino if you're listening. Speaking of give ups, Rick. Ball thrown in. Up she goes. Neither ruckman can get a tap down. Potter's going to be first to it, but Curtis Taylor hunts the footy, comes out the back, trying to get it out to Firebrace. Can't get it. Stacks on the middle again, Rick. We're inside the centre square. 14 plays, none, 10.5 minutes in on the Technica time clock.
Della Rocca copped one a bit high there from his own teammate, but got up straight away, and they kick it forward towards the 50. Trying to work it clear. There he is again, Brazier, in everything at the minute. Gets it inside 50. Cannons get back with numbers and spear it out towards centre wing, but a nice mark to Sturgis out in front. Sturgis, Ryan, will pump it back inside 50 here. And he keeps it very low, and it's a direct pass and beautiful execution. Taken away by Barrow. He kicks the full forward. Up they go. The ruckman gets back to spoil. Play on's a call. Hang on, we've got a free kick. And it's a shot on goal. Big call. Gillard. Braden Gillard with a shot 30 metres out on a slight angle.
He was really impressive last week in the midfield and looks like he's pushed forward for a little bit today.
And I was having a chat to his old man before at the breakfast. Okay. Terrific bloke.
So Gillard comes in and kicks pretty hard through the middle. It's another one to the Knights. And they are doing all the attacking at this stage of the game. We are 12 minutes into the first quarter on the Technica time clock. And the Northern Knights move on to 2-2-14 to the Calder Cannons yet to score. And that, of course, is on the NG scoreboard, and that's now moved to 3-2-20, which I thought it was.
It's been an interesting start to the game. Just like that passage of play there from the Knights, they just kicked with a bit more purpose rather than the previous passage of play along this broadcast wing where they were just chipping it down the line, like the long kicks to get rid of that congestion that we've seen early.
Cooper Lamb gets the tap out for the Cannons. Again, a little pack develops. Brodie Bell couldn't get the ball out, and the umpire will come in. Still inside the centre square. Up she goes. Lamb gets the tap out again. Good work. Quick kick forward for the Calder Cannons. They overreach. Feed a handball out. It's a bit of a chaos footy. Ends up in the hands of the Knights. Potter. They get the ball out. Skidding towards the boundary line. They feed a ball out back. And it ends up with Sturgis.
Siobhan to keep an eye on a duel down there in the back line. Ryan Poker, who had a great game last week, he's up against Ty Browning, who's a classy player and good goal kicker. So that could be a duel worth watching today.
Yep, I got my eye on that one now.
They're playing very deep.
Ball to be thrown in. Tap forward by Nick Barrow. Cannons trying to bustle out. Potter lays a tackle. Now they get it out. They go forward through Evans. He kicks to the heart of 50. Nice tackle applied there by Nathan Croft. And the umpire comes in. Gives the Knights player the benefit of the doubt. Tap down. Brazier trying to get the ball out. Can't pick it up for the Knights. Bit of a loose footy. Now they're a chance. Gee, that was close to a throw. Dispossessed as he tries to kick it. Eventually they get it out to Regaley. Regaley kicks to the square. 2 bites of the cherry. They drop it. Ball still in danger for the Knights. They close it down. Ball to be thrown in just outside the 10-metre square.
Just had to kick that a bit harder, didn't he?
Yeah.
Browning had Boke at peak there.
But even the mark for the Knights player on the top of the goal square should have been taken. There must be moisture or something on the ball, because that was a sitter.
Kicked out by Brazier, that was smothered. Here's Browning, gives off the hand but intercepted there. Knights trying to work it clear, and that'll be taken away by Wild, who delivers it nicely out in front of Main, who takes the mark, brings it in, bells the man at half back, he chips it wide. They take it on the bounce through Gillard and work it down towards centre wing. Up they go, sprawl over the back, Cannons with numbers if they're good enough. Couldn't quite break away. Knights get numbers there to help out, well done. And we'll have a ball up where it's centre wing, or closer to the Knights half forward anyway. Scoreboard side of Rams Arena, Craigieburn. Tapped over the back. A lot of smothers today so far. That'll be kicked inside 50. Up they go, big fella using his body there. Kicked out of trouble temporarily. And good poise out in the back line by Calder with a series of handball. Pedasti gets it out and they'll run through the middle. Kick towards half forward in the van. The Knights have all the numbers. Oh, Browning picks up. Kick smothered beautifully by Potter. Knights get numbers back again. Defending well through Wild. They'll kick it further afield and they'll work it back inboard. Good work by Davies on a couple of occasions there, who feeds it out. And they'll kick to an open lead, and they're using the ball well here, the Knights, through Brodie Bell. He'll go wide, scoreboard side of Rams Arena, and they'll go long, and good intercept that time by Hannah. Hannah goes inboard, and oh, he's played on and got caught. They'll play on again here, the Knights, and kick towards goal, and through it goes. Great tackle by Diteta Sante, and great goal to back it up.
Great ball.
And the Knights again just holding up and getting numbers back and forcing the error.
Great ball movement there from the Northern Knights off the half-back flank. In fact, both sides in the last minute had fairly free-flowing passages of play, but Knights capitalising on their opportunities at the moment, where I think the Cannons have only been inside 53 times maybe, and they just haven't been able to hit the scoreboard.
They tap it down in the middle again, trying to break away, get some open possession here. They paddle it out, Pedasti gets it, he works it wide, he's given it to a man in trouble in Ramsey. He does well to hook around on the left, gets it in the outer side of the ground, running onto it. They should be able to get away with a handball here, and that they do. Calder gets it out, they'll feed it, lucky kick falls in the hands, and a 12-metre kick, and Pedasti rubbers it forward. They're still in the van here, the Cannons. Oh, Abu had got clobbered there. Big tackle. Play on's the call. We're 45 out from the Cannons' goal. And some aggressive play by the Knights. Doing a great job off the ball, they are.
And their defensive pressure is really, really strong as well.
They throw it up quickly. Tapped over the back. Oh, good work that time. Wild, who's playing well at half back. Flicked over the back. Good spoil. Grace gets it down towards half forward. Oh, Cannons run into trouble again, but get out of it just as quickly. Now it lands with O'Sullivan, who'll kick towards half forward. Beautifully directed out in front. And the man there is Calder, who goes inboard to Browning on the lead. He'll play on straight away and hits up his man. Beautiful directed play by Browning, and a good low catch there really to Gentile, Ned Gentile.
Like the purpose in those three previous kicks for the Cannons inside attacking 50. It's what they haven't been able to do every opportunity where they have gone forward. That time they had a bit of purpose, they were targeted, they were direct, they knew what they were doing, and it's resulted with a shot on goal.
Gentile to come in from 35 out directly in front. Kicks a little right for mine. Yep, through for behind. And that's the first quarter. Calder, one behind. They trailed Northern 4-2-26. That's on the NG scoreboard, and we're 19 minutes into the first quarter on the Technica time clock. Over the back it goes. They'll bring it back inboard now. And a good spoil. Sees it in the hands of Carafa. He goes backward to go forward. And that is Davies out there, gets it in to his man in the back pocket, who'll spear it down towards half back, and Gillard takes a diving mark. Ball handling's picking up as the game goes on. Up they go, good spoil, brings it to ground, and back inside 50 here. Here's an opportunity for Cannons. Out in front, paddling it was that time in Firebrace. He's a live wire, we know. Flicked out the back door, and they'll kick it out in the full here. Might be a few recruiters out there getting the possession.
Just underneath the gum trees. They're nice and brisk over there.
They'll thump it back to the boundary side. Good spoil over the back, sees it back towards half-back for the Knights. Oh, they run into trouble there. Main was tackled, and no free kick. Umpire thought no prior. So we're around that 50-metre mark for the Cannons, who've done the attacking for the last 3 or 4 minutes. They're trying to work it out of there, but they can't. Knights just getting a hand on it and working it out of trouble. Potter paddling it forward. Back inside the centre square we go. Cannon getting it out with numbers. They did well there. And they'll work it towards the 50. Up they go. Over the back it goes. The Knights through Naylor should work it forward, and out of bounds it goes.
What's been evident is that the Cannons have been forced to kick backwards and handball backwards, so good pressure from the Knights.
That's a good call there, Siobhan, because they had 4 possessions in a 10-metre radius there. Inboard it comes. Tap to the front, sharked away Pataski. He gives it across, and he's got his mate there who got tackled there in Reddick. Over the back, oh, that's holding the ball, or play on now. Bell gets it, and he kicks it towards half-back. A juggling mark by Musa, who plays on.
No. 50-metre penalty going the way of the Calder Cannons. I
thought he played on straight away.
Well, I don't think the umpire had waved or called play on, so...
Okay, so Musa has it. He's about 58 metres out, and he'll lob it up towards the front of the square. Well, they get numbers back here. Quite a few around it, trying to work it out of trouble, but the umpire will ball it up.
Just a pull kick again from the Cannons inside attacking 50. They just... Musa then just popped it up, lobbed it up to a contest at the top of the goal square, and it's now a free kick to the Northern Knights.
So Sturgis will take it. Now it's back to Hallibone. Ruckman must have got interfered with in that marking contest. And a long left foot. No, the umpire's saying he's not behind his mark. Oh dear.
Obviously someone hasn't had their coffee.
They reckon they should change a few rules. That'd be the first one. And he gives off the handball this time. Davies runs into... Oh, gee. Aggressive tackle on the line. And there'll be a free kick.
Good old-fashioned code.
Aggressive tackle there. I think that was Scholl. Anyway, good mark to Gillard, but play-on's a call through Naylor. He gets it across. Mitch Wiles his target, who paddles it forward towards the commentary side. Does well to keep it in and delivers it up to half forward, but a good spoil over the back. Sees it out of bounds.
Just the changing movement there. The Calder Cannons, the hoping kicks inside attacking 50 going nowhere. Knights get one opportunity and they capitalise. They hit targets down the line, although that one went over the boundary line and out of play. They were looking for someone, whereas the Cannons just a bit dazed, I think would be one way of describing it.
Throw in at half forward Knights side, and out of bounds it goes again.
And I don't think the congestion's favouring the Cannons game style. You mentioned before they're quite a small side. They look very lively and exciting when those small players get it in their hands. Create a bit of space, let them run, let them move. At the moment we've got, 15, 20 players around the football, and they're not getting that opportunity to run.
I think the Knights' aggression on the ball is partly to blame. They get it, there's that handball and run through the little fellas, and that time it was Croft who goes in the middle. They'll pump it forward towards full forward. Browning with the fly. They bring it to ground. Snap on goal. Could be there first, but hits the post. And good attempt there that time by Calder, who's been one of their better forwards.
Again, it's great pressure on the ball carrier by the Knights that's stopping the Cannons' ball movement.
Naylor with that long left boot gets it towards half back. Ball spoiled. Down the ground it goes. We're on the 50 for the Cannons. And we'll have a ball up.
They've had it, I reckon, for the last 4 or 5, well, maybe even longer, 8 minutes, the Calder Cannons. They've had the momentum. They've only got the 2 behinds on the scoreboard.
They'll bring it to ground. Just the attack by both teams at the moment. A spoil. The first quarter. And the scoreboard's pretty luminous today. Northern Knights 4-2-26. The Calder Cannons 2 behind. That, of course, is the NG scoreboard. And we have quarter time. We might just have a quick look at the goal kickers, Matt.
Yes, so for the Northern Knights, they're the only ones with any goal kickers on the board. Braden Gillard, Dintino Sante, Della Rocca and Licenti are our goal kickers at quarter time for the Northern Knights. As you said, Rick, they're 4-2-26 to the Calder Cannons, 2 behinds on the NG scoreboard. Siobhan, any statistics that stood out? Hallibone, did he continue his dominance after the first 5 minutes?
Sort of. He was definitely very dominant in the first part of the first quarter, winning most of the tap-outs, but I found that Naylor and Lamb, in particular Naylor, did a better job in the second part of that first quarter. And Podjavski, hopefully I'm getting that right, his tackling pressure's been really, really good. He's not getting as much of the ball as he did last week, and he's been handballing more than kicking, but his tackling pressure's been first class.
15 tackles last week to Podjavski, was the clubhouse leader at the end of the round for TAC Cup round 6.
Without looking at any stats, the pressure the Knights have brought to this game today so far is way above what I've seen for a long time.
They were good. They showed you some good signs last week. We're going to take a break. We'll be back on the other side of this. Quarter time here at Rams Arena, 26 to the Knights, 2 to the Cannons.
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. Executive Maintenance has grown to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio. Another year of TAC Cup football and your #1 AFL draft site is back and bigger than ever. HadZ Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise the way AFL draft content is reported. In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central. Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it! He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks to get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com. Cowboys Cash and Carry has moved. They can now be found at 694 High Street, Epping, in the hub in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza. And to celebrate the move, they have 50,000 pairs of men's and ladies' denim. A huge range of styles, including Kenji, Maya, Maddox, that normally retail for $100, Cowboys price between $10 and $15. That's right, between $10 and $15. Open 7 days a week. Get along to Cowboys Cash and Carry in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza.
On taccup.com.au, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Rams Arena, Calder Cannons 2 behinds, the Northern Knights 4-2-26. What did you guys make of that first quarter? Oh, before we do that, very important news, Rick. Cowboys Cash and Carry. What's happening there, mate?
Just through a couple of things, they've decided next month to relocate again back to their old premises in Marnie's Road, is it?
No, Settlement Road.
Settlement Road it is, in Thomastown.
Yep.
So over the next month, you're getting some great specials on jeans, and they've still got heaps of stuff. They want to roll them out there. Most stuff's going at half price, so you can go and get a pair of jeans for 10 or 20 bucks.
No, Rick, less.
I'm going there.
I'm telling you, less.
I've got holes in my jeans at the moment. I'm going there after this game.
I've got holes in my jeans. How else would my legs fit through? I bought a pair of business pants, seriously, for $2.50.
Really?
$2.50.
You can't get a dim sim for $2.50.
A pair of business pants, like black business pants. Unbelievable bargains.
So get there over the weekend. They're still open for a while at Epping.
And it's the old Bunnings store on the corner of High Street and Cooper Street.
So they've got some great specials, and it's not the cheap stuff that you would think it was from the place.
Oh no! Well, you know me, Rick. I'm a quality sort of guy. I'm not getting.
We probably could have used another example.
Anyway, what do we make of that first quarter? The Knights will be pretty happy.
I'm very happy with the way they actually attacked the ball. I touched on earlier. They are just not giving the Cannons any room. So when the Cannons, as we mentioned, Siobhan earlier, that they're trying to get it out with a few handballs and get the little blokes running, the Knights are just there, all over them. So the perceived pressure and the actual pressure that they're bringing to their tackling. The tackle count might be a good statistic to have a look at the end of this game. That might be one to watch.
I'll tell you one thing I think the clubs are going to start doing. People will be lining up to be Siobhan's player watch, because everyone we watch seems to start to perform. Well, start to perform, they're performing anyway.
Well, we're under the microscope, aren't
Once they're under the microscope, they're kicking goals.
And of course, Hallabone, who's a good one, because today he's really doing a lot of good work in the ruck. I know we don't want to knock the work of Cooper Lamb either, his opponent, but he's got a couple of centimetres on him, and probably a bit bulkier. 201 centimetres as opposed to 198, so Cooper Lamb going to have a tough game, but let's hope he really provides a good battle for Hallabone, who's been dominant.
And it'll be interesting to see when he goes up forward too, like he did in the second half last week, provided a real option for the Northern Knights and marking targets. So watch out for that when he switches forward, no doubt, throughout the game.
One of the big differences I've noticed is that Calder seem to be lacking that marking forward. They've gone a bit smaller today, but no one's been able to bring the ball to ground to necessarily give the Smalls a chance to kick some goals, but also the perceived pressure and decision making by the Cannons hasn't been great.
I think Ty Browning's playing that role for the Calder Cannons as the number one forward, but he's just not getting access to it, which allows him to mark.
Roquette's doing a great job.
All right, second quarter action here at Rams Arena. Take it away, Rick.
And Lamb gets it down nicely, but Knights have the numbers this time. Cannons intercept. Goes wide, Nala in front. Goes to ground, but gets a high tackle. And that left foot will come out here. We'd expect a long kick. And Naylor, classy player at halfback for the Northern Knights, kicks very long. And that's where the wind's going, towards that grandstand, and it took it, no doubt. That's where the flag's blowing.
It's just picked up in the last 5 minutes or so, this wind.
So the Knights might just have to switch and attack through that other side. So it doesn't end up a dead pocket over here.
And there's a few players that have slipped over, so there must be a bit of moisture just on the grass, which is affecting the skills as we picked up it during the first quarter.
It's tapped down that time by Halliburton. Main gets tackled, brings it to ground, and good work by the Cannons, who are now starting to tackle harder.
Yeah, I was just about to make the same point. That second effort that we didn't see in the first term from the Cannons in the opening minute, they've started well.
They bring it to ground this time on his hands and knees. Oh, eventually Bell works it over. That's probably deliberate, Brooksy.
I reckon it was like a rugby player just getting a try on the line. Anyway,
Curtis Taylor's on Bell at the moment. We'll see a bit more out of Curtis by the end of the game, no doubt. They work it forward. Oh, good collision there. But great pick-up by Evans, who gets it wide, but Gardner gets it and gets tackled. A couple of Cannons onto him there.
Just sensing a bit more urgency from the Cannons in the opening 2 minutes. Positive signs.
And this time Halliburton taps it forward, well read. Curtis Taylor gets it towards the middle. Paddled forward by Naylor, but they can't break away. Browning, with a bit of class, goes back, and they'll chip it forward through Doyle. Out to the outer side, towards the scoreboard there. Good work. Over the back it goes, and they bring it to ground. Calder just trying to work it out of there. Fire brace gets collected.
And Rick, that was Ryan Sturgis who took the ball over the line, and we just want to send a cheerio to his father Nigel, who had back surgery during the week.
All the best.
So hope he'd be happy so far, Nigel. The Knights are up 4 goals at this point, and Ryan's doing a good job.
It hasn't been a good week for the Knights and their backs.
No, not at all.
They bring it to ground again. 55 out from the call to goal. And we'll have another packed form and a ball up. This is what I want to get rid of, Crooksy. Far too many of them.
The secondary ball up. I'll see if I can clear it for you, Rick. Up they go. Halliburton gets the ball down. Brodie Bell over the top. Can't get it. They feed it out the back, the Cannons. Go one way, come back the other through Evans. He's collared, and it's over the boundary line and out of bounds. 3 minutes in on the Technica time clock. No addition to the score.
Just picked up that Ty Browning, we spoke about him being that number 1 option up forward for the Cannons. He's actually playing on the wing to start this second term. He's just hovering off the ruck contest at this passage of play.
Halliburton gets the big left Duke over the back, but it's the Cannons that are going to clear. Sweeping handball out the back to Cavallaro. Now they're caught, holding the ball, says the umpire. That's the tackling we've been talking about. And it is Brazier. Gets it on to Gardner straight away. Back to Brazier. Lowers the eyes. Gets it inside 50 for the Knights. They're outnumbered, but they've still got the footy. They put in the little kick. Good smother. Fed out again. Dintinasante. They feed the ball out. Good evasion. They kick to the square. It's going. Last line of defence. Drops a mark that should have been taken. That pink ball's proved slippery and elusive today. That could have been too high. Umpire not having a bar of it. They're close to the boundary line. Gillard. I don't know how he did this. And if that had a bounce through, that's the goal of the year. Ball on the goal line. Cannons clear. They kick out wide. Gardner will be the first to it. Gets it on the first bounce. One way, that way. Kicks a little squib around the corner to Brazier. Sweeping left-hand handball. Pass into the middle. Beautiful pass. Ill-directed. Marked by Daniel Hanna.
Hanna at half-back, or back pocket, will drive it long towards half-back. But Knights with the numbers to force it forward. That's picked up by Land. He got tackled. Can't quite break away yet. And Potter gets it. Wild on the half volley. Gets collected by 2.
Beautiful take, Rick.
Well, he's in good form, Mitch. Showing a bit more class this year, isn't he?
Yeah. And he's filled out a bit, Rick. He's got a bit solider.
Oh, up it goes. Halliburton with the strength to tap it down to Brazier, who's been in everything. They work it inside 50, 30 metres out. Here's Brazier on the right and through for a behind.
Ken Blairy.
Sonny Brazier. We know a few Braziers. There's no
We
relation.
do. No, I don't think so. He's showing a lot ticker.
In the back pocket it goes, and we've got a switch on back into the back pocket again. And this time it's with Cavallaro.
Too slow.
Now they're going to have to kick to a contest. Oh, big fly by Curtis. Sorry, I reckon he's marked that. The umpire couldn't see that. We might have to get our cameraman to have a look at that one. That was almost a mark.
Yeah, no, got the thumbs up, should have been paid.
One-handed by Curtis Taylor. Thumped again. There he is. Taylor gets scragged. Out the back it goes. Oh, great work. Good evasion by Yogi. Gets it down. And they'll intercept here through Abuad. He'll go wide. And the Cannons drive it towards centre wing. Good spoil that time by Sturgis. Out of bounds it goes.
It's been an interesting start to this second term. No side's really gained momentum either way, whereas first term Northern Knights controlled the first 10-15 minutes and then the Cannons worked their way into it. Been a lot more even.
Ball sent forward. 2 bites of the cherry and a mark to Lachlan Scholl. And 50. Back on the mark.
Father-son, Lachlan.
Yeah.
Which Scholl's that?
I think it's Brad.
Brad Scholl. Carlton play?
He'll get another 50 if he tries to get in his way. Scholl takes the full advantage of the 50. Decides to go laterally. Picks out Ismail Musa. Again, a little bit short. He's found Browning.
There's only 2 players standing behind Browning.
Browning goes deep inside 50. It is all the Northern Knights in defensive 50.
Every player on the ground in the forward half of the Calder Cannons.
And the mark taken by Mitch Wild. He spots out Gardner.
It's a good point, Matt. And they're taught by the best of them, aren't they? But they're normally in 1/3 of the ground in the AFL.
Potter back to Gardner in a bit of traffic. Squeezes it out. They need to release the ball quickly. Good handball. They get it back out to Sturgis. Sturgis is going to go wide looking for Halliburton, and Halliburton's got it. Big Tom. Centre wing. Left boot. Kicks to the edge of 50. Din Tenasante interfered with. No free kick. Goes to Barton. Now it's Collard. Ball in dispute. Gillard spits the ball out to Din Tenasante. Gets it over the top. Cannons lead the race to the ball. They get it out. They're not out of trouble yet. They're over the top of it. They won't want to drag it in. Ball in dispute. Oh, there's a the carpet touched. We'd like to
Score review.
Gee, I wouldn't mind a look at that one. Go umpire right onto it.
It's a behind.
Must have seen it.
One of the big differences between both sides is that the Cannons are dropping marks inside their defensive 50 and the Northern Knights are just gobbling them up, they're taking them.
Taylor getting involved in the game this quarter, gives it to Potaski. Potaski gets 50.
I just mentioned Taylor there, Rick. Curtis Taylor took 9 marks last week, round 6 for the Calder Cannons, which was level with about 3 other players for the
I
round.
think he's got a lot of ability, Curtis. Goes forward, and that's a beautiful pass, Podaski. Gets it out in front of his forward, who led onto it, and Calder has been their best forward, I reckon, so far. Will have one of their first genuine attempts at goal today.
Yes, it is, and
This quarter too, 10 minutes into the second quarter, it's their first real opportunity to score.
So this time, Sean Calder. He'll kick. He's a big boy, 188 centimetres and 81 kilos. Good size. Comes in from 40 metres out. Not much of an angle. And and kicks to the right.
Got it.
And snuck it in just beside the goal post. Just got enough on it and brought it back for a goal. And that's the first goal of the day. And number 46 in the record is Sean Calder, and he gets the first. 1-2-8 to Calder. Northern Knights 4-4-28. That is on the NG scoreboard. We are 11 minutes into this second quarter on the Technica time clock.
We've highlighted it a couple of times, but I just think the Knights are working harder than the Calder Cannons at this point in time. Their tackling's great, their second efforts are great, and they're kicking to players who are running to make leads.
O'Sullivan and Barrow. Barrow tries to rove the ruck work. Brodie Bell in amongst it, runs into some Barney rubble there. The ball comes loose too high. Good work by the Cannons and bringing the ball out. I'll need to get that guy's name, 32 or 52, sorry, it was Reddick, Ben Reddick. Cannons going inside 50, big solid punch at the back. There, he's over the top of it here. Don't know if he said the umpire will say he dragged it in. No, he didn't, and the ball will be thrown up. We're inside 50. Cannons 8, Knights 28, 20 points the difference, approaching 12 minutes into the second term. They get it out to Reddick. It's a dirty big up and under into the goal square. Oh, Mark taken and play on. And free kick against Dylan Land. Got excited for nothing. Gee, that was...
I would have marked that down as an executive maintenance mark of the day.
It was very good play. Anyway, not to be. The man in green is always right, Rick. We have to get a new saying for that. As the Northern Knights will bring the ball back in through Adam Carafa. He gets it to Sturgis in the other back pocket. Hasn't got a lot up the line. Decides to switch play. Gee, he needs to be sweet here, and he is. Hits his target. Knights go to half-back centre wing. Beautifully measured kick, and they're off to the races. It's slammed forward. Inside 50, and mark taken by Campbell Barton in the long sleeves. He goes into the centre square.
Oh, they've got players everywhere.
Gets it across to Evans. Goes back, but Ryan Gardner intercepts, and then lays the tackle, spins him round. Umpire looks. Comes in and will ball it up.
They had 4 free players in the Calder Cannons, and they put it straight down the throat of, I think it was Gardner for the Northern Knights. So again, just I think lazy kicking, lazy decision making.
Taylor works it towards half forward. They'll paddle it through. Out of bounds it goes.
And I think, as you raised before, Rick, that might be a consequence of the pressure that the Northern Knights are bringing to the game.
Could be. So they'll throw the ball in at half forward. Calder looking better this quarter, had a lot more of the ball, and they bring it to ground. There's that player we mentioned in Browning earlier, spears it beautifully into Gentile. He goes low and finds his man at centre half forward, and that'll be Taylor. Oh no, 50 metres, right on the 50. Knights have given 3 or 4 away today. I'd imagine that'll be in their team meetings this week.
I'm assuming this will be another goal for the Calder Cannons, but their 2 goals have been results of 50-metre penalties.
You can mark this one down for Curtis, who's kicking on the goal line and puts it through. And undisciplined play by the Knights sees the Cannons get their second goal for the day. I think that's their second, isn't it? Scoreboard gone a bit early. 2-2-14 to 4-4-28 on the NG scoreboard. 15 minutes into the second quarter on the Technica time clock. And any comments there for Cowboys there, Matt? Or Shaboon?
I think that the Calder Cannons need to start hitting targets more. That's why they're getting back into this game. And Tom Hallybone's dominating in the ruck again, so hopefully Lamb can continue to try hard.
They work it clear. Cannons attacking again. They do well to paddle it out. And, good evasive skills there by Gentile, who gets it down towards half forward. It's punched away. Running onto it there, Horro gets it over the back. Oh, they do well. Oh, a bit of a blind turn there. And a spear pass. Did we catch that player?
Dylan Lant, I think
Lant? Yeah, Lant, great work.
When you hit targets, it results in goals usually.
And one of the 19-year-olds in the Calder Cannons side, Dylan Lance, familiar name back in my region, the Sunbury neck of the woods. I think his brother plays in the Essendon District Football League now.
And lining up is Mitchell Podaski. And he'll have a shot from goal from 40 metres out directly in front. Got the bandage on the left knee. And he kicks pretty true by the look of it. A little bit of right to left, but that's a goal. And that is their third. 3 goals to 20. The Northern Knights 4-4-28. An 8-point margin. 16 minutes into this second quarter. Technica time clock.
They're never out of it, are they, the Cannons? These two teams have a love-hate relationship for each other, I reckon. They always put on a ripper.
And once again, as it was in the first term, the Cannons have worked their way into the quarter and they're starting to get on top.
And they're starting to win the midfield battle, which is always important if you're going to win a game of footy.
And the Knights player there was just struggling to get across the centre line before the ball was bounced, so free kick the way of the Cannons.
Cooper Lamb drives it deep inside 50. Knights lead the race to the ball through Sturgis. Now little fire brace. He gets it, tucks it under his arm, kicks it around the corner. It's bouncing. They need some good defence. Wild, good work. Sweeping handball. They've got some numbers out this way. Long driving kick. Oh, mark just spilt there by Della Rocca. Comes back for Calder. Abuid gets it to just forward of centre wing. And the ball goes over the boundary line out of bounds. We're on the eastern side or freeway side of Rams Arena. And there's a dirty big crowd assembling. There's 3 games being played here today. So you'd imagine parking will be at a premium. Ball thrown in. Tap down. Pojaski taken over the boundary line there by Carafa. Good comeback by and the play's defying the breeze, isn't it? Unless we're misreading the breeze, but that flag's definitely sort of...
It's coming towards us. It's actually changed around a bit, more of a southerly now by the look of it.
Ball thrown in. They're on the carpet. Hallibone gets trapped underneath him. Umpire has a bit of a squeeze, says play on. Eventually they get it out to Potter. He loves a run and a gallop. Handball's back to go forward. They kick it up high to centre wing. Come over the back, made it hard for Harrison Grace there as the ball goes over the boundary line, out of bounds.
Mitch Pojaski's just starting to work his way into the game, starting to use his hands really well.
Speaking of hands, I think Northern Knights just need to get it into their possession and just slow the tempo down a bit. Momentum, as we said, shifting to the Cannons.
Again, Hallibone just taps it. They are just sort of working the ball forward. We're now on true centre wing where the interchange bench is. Boundary umpire. Got the Pink Sheridans. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Day here. Tap forward there by O'Sullivan. Cannons go for an underground handball. Good work by Horro. O'Sullivan comes out the back to Hannah. Gets collared by Potter. Another tackle. Tough footy. Ball still going forward in the right direction for the Calder Cannons. They spit it out. Browning. Back to Browning. Thinks about it. Goes back on the left boot. No, and then he decides to handball. Might have gone one too many. Now the Knights are a chance through Grace. They kick inside 50, 1-on-1. Cannons are in the set position. They get it back. Musa, Ismail gets it across, finds Doyle. Doyle gets it across to Browning. Browning to half back. They've really opened it up here, the Calder Cannons. They kick long to half forward, punched by Sturgis. That might have been holding the man, and the free kick to the Calder Cannons, half forward flank on the western side of the ground.
And they'll play on straight away and down to half forward it goes. in the hands of Nathan Croft. He spears it and hits his target beautifully. Play on. And they'll thump it back towards the goal square. Great mark over the back that time. And Naylor on the left kicks it towards the commentary side of the ground. Waited for it. Got to have a crack at it, I think.
Had to.
Just because the way that ball was spinning towards that boundary, would have been better off diving for the mark. Out of bounds it is. Half forward for the Cannons. Knights just not getting their game going. They missed an opportunity inside 50 just before, and the kick was overcooked, and they'll throw it in. Over the back it goes. Lant with the kick off a standstill, and intercepting there was Potter. Lockie Potter goes towards centre wing. Up they go. Great mark over the back, the long arms of Hannah. He plays on straight away inboard, and he's got his mate in Jack Evans. Jack Evans kicks long towards a marking contest, thumped away. That's taken by Gardner, gives it off. They put themselves under pressure here. Cannons with numbers around the footy. Doing well. Trying to yank it clear there. They can't quite get away, the Knights. Bit of legs taken there. Probably should have been a handball, but hits his target anyway. And a nice mark to Della Rocca. Della Rocca brings it inboard to a contest. Dangerous. In front. They try and paddle it out. They can't. Play on's the call.
That's, I wonder if that's that'd have to be Jason's
Castagna, you would imagine. Georgie.
Yep, it is.
It is.
So they bring it up straight away. Dumped away. Hannah went without it. A little handball inboard. Bell gets over the top of him. Good work, good size of the lad, Jeremy O'Sullivan. Brings it back inboard to Hannah. Good spoil. Good
well done.
Showing great strength.
Good work.
To a one-on-one. There's only two players in the 50. Over it goes. He elected not to take the ball, and that was pretty good tactics, Cavallaro. Out of bounds it went.
Fantastic play by Mitch Wild. That was magnificent.
Brute strength.
He just kept going forward, didn't he?
Raging bull.
Got ahead of steam up, and it was really well done by Cavallaro there.
They needed that just to break the play open, because they'd just been pushing. They needed someone to take it by the scruff of the neck, and that's exactly what happened.
Now Cannons defending. Big swarm of players. Out the back it goes. Here's a chance. Brazier will line him up and goes right from behind. If he could get that part of his game right.
Only
missed a couple from that angle.
2 behinds, I think, this quarter for the Northern Knights.
Yeah, they kicked 4 at quarter time. Oh, here's trouble. Bit of a grubber. Out of bounds it goes. So they're outside the 50 at least, the Cannons. Defensive half.
Free kick.
No, they paid a free kick. I don't know what that was for. Can't have been deliberate because he grubbed it. Over the back, good intercept by Taylor. And he'll play on and kick towards the scoreboard. No. Oh, he runs around. Gives off the handball. They'll work it clear. There's the scoreboard, and it's thumped over towards it. Out of bounds it goes. So let's straighten the scoreboard up. Calder 3-2-20, Northern 4-5-29. 9 points lead, 25 minutes in to this second quarter. And you'd have to say this quarter is definitely all Calder. They've kicked 3 goals to the Knights, none. So the scoring end has been left of camera or to the city end of the ground so far. And they kick it towards 50. Play on's a call. Not sure how that was disposed of, but Cannons get numbers back and they'll clear. There is the siren for half-time here at Rams Arena. Calder Cannons 3-2-20, better quarter from them to the Northern Knights 4-5-29, a 9-point lead. And have we got any goal kickers there, Matt?
We do. Same goal kickers for the Northern Knights as it was at quarter time. Gillard, Tino Sante, Della Rocca and Licenti are the goal kickers for the Knights. And for the Cannons, who got on the board, I think the first major coming around the 10-minute mark of the second term through Calder. Pajaski also has one, and so too does Curtis Taylor. And two of those goals came from a 50-metre penalty. One came from a 50-metre penalty, the other one came as a result of a 50-metre penalty because it came down. So just a little bit of ill discipline as we look across. Pajaski's got one goal. What else has he done, Siobhan?
In that quarter, he had 4 handballs, 3 kicks and 2 marks. He was much better in the second quarter than he was in the first. I've noticed that he uses the ball really well, but his best attribute is probably his tackling, as he had 15 last week and he's had quite a few today in critical moments in the game. I thought in that quarter, Lamb and Naylor did a really good job to try and nullify Halliburton. He still performed really well in the ruck, but not as dominant as in the start of the first quarter and the start of the second quarter.
All right, we'll take a break here. It's half time and it is 29 plays 20. The Knights hold a 9-point lead here in round 7 action. You're locked into TAC Cup Radio.
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. Executive Maintenance has grown to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio. Cowboys Cash and Carry has moved. They can now be found at 694 High Street, Epping, in the hub in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza. And to celebrate the move, they have 50,000 pairs of men's and ladies' denim. A huge range of styles, including Kenji, Maya, Maddox, that normally retail for $100, Cowboys price between $10 and $15. That's right, between $10 and $15. Open 7 days a week. Get along to Cowboys Cash and Carry in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza. Another year of TAC Cup football and your #1 AFL draft site is back and bigger than ever. AdZ Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise the way AFL draft content is reported. In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central. Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it! He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com.
On taccup.com.au, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Here at Rams Arena, a fairly blustery Rams Arena up here on the balcony at Half-time it is the Northern Knights leading 4-5-29, the Calder Cannons 3-2-20, and we're fortunate to be joined up here by Ian Kite, the talent manager of the Calder Cannons. Ian, how's the day obviously going with the breast cancer breakfast?
It's been a good start to the day. We had 80 odd people in there, which was fantastic, and it's wonderful to have the A team interview me and not Crooksy today, so that's great. Yeah, we're fortunate with our sponsors. Each goal we've kicked, we're $350 per goal to breast cancer. I was a bit worried at quarter time. I thought I was going to go down to the northern box and maybe say, hey, ease up a bit, we need a few bucks.
So how are you going to get more goals on the scoreboard? Because it's been a funny game, a congested game too for both sides.
Yeah, it has. I think the ground was quite slippery at the start, so boys getting used to that. We've been playing a high possession game. I think we had 420 possessions last week. So they've got to make a little adjustment to that and probably kick the ball a bit quicker than we are. The first bloke out's got to kick it, so hopefully that'll come to fruition in the second half and we'll be able to get the better of the Knights. Got
a couple of 19-year-olds in the side, or one of them is Land. How's he been tracking not only today but also throughout the year?
His elite skills are his speed and agility. When he gets free and out running, he's one of the better players in the competition, I think. His kicking is elite as well. He's struggled a little bit to get into games and for consistency this year, so hopefully we can bring him into the game in the second half. The other one playing today, the other two, Hannah's been very good at half-back today. I think we've found a spot for him down there. And Mitch Podasky's been excellent on ball all year and been a little bit quiet today, so we look for some more from him in the second half as well.
Just can you talk a bit more about Podasky, because I think he's your captain from memory.
Yeah,
is that correct? And impressive throughout 2017 when we called games out here. He seems to have taken another step in 2018.
Well, the idea of him coming back as a 19-year-old was to have him to go through on ball. Now, AFL club, we think, didn't draft him because he's a 191 third tall back and there's a lot of them running around and a lot of them on list at the moment. So we played him on ball a little bit and he showed enough to convince the AFL clubs that, yeah, it was well worth it. And going through midfield, playing forward, he's probably leading our goal kick at the moment. And had 3 really good games at Coburg as well. His second half first game and his next 2 games, he's 22 possessions in each of the games, and actually in the Coburg 22, not playing as a 23rd player. So he's a great leader, well respected. Him and Jack Bytel, co-captains. Jack out with a back niggle at the moment.
How do you guide a player through that period? Because obviously he would have had hopes of being drafted last year. Yeah. Again, his skills are at elite level, I think. How do you, as the talent manager, guide that path from a player that should have been drafted into a 19-year-old into the TAC Cup system?
I think we just got to make them aware that it's never a certainty that they're going to get drafted, that he can do everything he possibly did. There was a lot of clubs saying he'll get drafted, he'll get rookied, but nobody's saying we were going to take him, so we made him aware of that. And we then made him aware of that he has to go up another level. He's not only against all the 19-year-olds who get picked, there's another crop of 18-year-olds that are eligible to draft, so he has to be better at something new, and we need that to be midfield. He's done everything he possibly can through 2017, now 2018, doing the same thing, so he's going to give himself every opportunity today. It's fortunate that a few AFL clubs have said to me that he's doing exactly what he needed to, and one person said he's like an AFL player playing TAC Cup, some of the things he's doing at the moment, which, as you said, is what we saw him as last year.
What about some of the other guys in the side? I heard you mention before it's a very small side that you've selected for today's game specifically. It's a bit like the Mosquito Fleet, and it's exciting when they get the ball in their hands.
Yeah, we've probably got 4 or 5 of our 195s plus out, which Devereaux Pretty, who's 203, a basketballer who's playing Big V basketball and trying to get him through. Playing when we can as a 19-year-old. He's another one that we really missed. Riccardi out as a 19-year-old in the rotation, 193. So you start to get down the list a bit in what is actually available. Fletcher out playing with pegs and injury as well. I think you just got to adjust it and let them play the game on the same game plans as what Ross might want, but know that there's a lot of blokes who've got to kick the ball more to grass and not kick it on top of people's heads.
You mentioned a player there that Crooksy and I are fairly excited about, Mason Fletcher. Read in the paper during the week that he's got a little bit of an injury. Can you update us on that?
He has got a little bit of a lower back injury that could see him miss 10 weeks for the rest of the year. I think he's done enough already, Crooksy, to be drafted by Essendon or by somebody else. Unfortunate for him, it's come at that time where he should be playing footy, he should be in a Vic Metro jumper. But the this happens in footy. It's not a fantastic outcome for everybody all the time. So we'll just work with him and with Essendon to try and get him in as best condition as we can by the end of the year. I doubt whether we'll be back, but we'll see what happens with him.
Second half of the match coming up shortly. What's the instructions to the group at half
I think
time?
it'll be to use the ball a bit quicker. I'll kick the ball a bit quicker and possibly take a little bit more time and show some composure coming out of the back line. Be prepared to kick it to grass and use our little blokes to run onto the ball. So that's our plan. We'll see how we go.
And just quickly, beyond the $350 that's being donated for every goal, what are some of the other initiatives? Because I think you mentioned earlier this is your 4th or 5th year of running the breast cancer fundraising event.
Some of the players have got sponsors per possession, per goal, per tackle. Melbourne Metropolitan Hospitality, who are running the function, have donated their services today, which is another $1,000 worth to people going through. We had a raffle. I think it's about $800 or $900. All prizes donated at the moment. So, sale of a few footies and pink socks. The jumpers that the boys are wearing today are being sold to the players if they want them, or if the players didn't want them, anybody else that might want that. So, we're hopeful of getting around $4,500, $5,000, which would be a good outcome.
And is there any option for anyone who is listening through or watching through taccup.com.au if they are interested in purchasing the jumpers today and adding to the cause? Is there any way for them to do that?
They could ring the office during the week on 8339 7482. So 8339 7482, and speak to Matt Burton or myself, and no doubt there'll be a few jumpers left and shorts as well if they're interested.
And it's always a pleasure coming up, especially on a day like today where the Breast Cancer Foundation is incredibly important in raising monies for something that's just truly terrible. So it's great that both the Calder Cannons and I think the Knights also get behind it as well. So it's a fantastic event. Congratulations on another well-run day, as Crooksy's just walked in front of the camera.
There wouldn't be a lot of daylight left in it.
That's why we're the A-team.
Right,
Thanks very much, Ian Kite, Talent Manager of the Calder Cannons. We'll take a break and be back with the second half.
Go on, you mate. No worries.
You're at half time on TAC Cup Radio and taccup.com.au. 4-5-29, the Northern Knights, the Calder Cannons 3-2-20. And I think we're ready to go to the break now here on...
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. Executive Maintenance is going to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio. Another year of TAC Cup football, and your number one AFL draft site is back and bigger than ever. AdZ Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise the way AFL draft content is reported. In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central. Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it! He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! Cowboys Cash and Carry has moved. They can now be found at 694 High Street, Epping, in the hub in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza. And to celebrate the move, they have 50,000 pairs of men's and ladies' denim. A huge range of styles, including Kenji, Maya, Maddox, that normally retail for $100, Cowboys price between $10 and $15. That's right, between $10 and $15. Open 7 days a week. Get along to Cowboys Cash and Carry in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza. Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com.
On taccup.com.au, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Rams Arena, the Calder Cannons and the Northern Knights have re-entered the playing surface, and there looks like the Murray Bushrangers are still out having a bit of a talk and a kick on the ground. They'll be the game following this.
Now, we touched on it earlier, Crooksy, but Cowboys, one of our long-time sponsors who relocated to Epping,
yes,
are moving back to their original
back to Settlement
depot
Road,
in
Thomastown,
which is a great little spot, and it's all got to go. They don't want to move the stock. They don't want to carry it, load it up in the trucks. They want to sell it before it goes. And they're going to sell stuff for half price. So there is stock to be sold. Get yourself down, plenty of jeans, plenty of pants, anything you want, as you can say, for $5, $10, $20.
Oh, less, Rick, less.
$2.
$2.50. You can get clothes. I got a pair of business pants for $2.50. Could have got jeans. I bought a pair of jeans and a shirt there the other week.
I don't believe you, Crooksy. It can't be, can it?
I kid you not. I don't kid about stuff like that. It's loose change. You know how, like, some of those bigger fast food franchises now, you know, like the loose change, you know, get this for $2.
Yeah.
You can get real good clothes for $2.50.
Well, I might head there straight after the game, because it's only up the road from us.
It's on the way home.
On the way home.
Do they have jackets?
We'll find you a jacket if you want.
They have everything.
It is freezing up here today.
It is freezing. You've always got to take that extra jacket.
Colder than what I thought it was going to. It's colder now than what I was when I got here at 8 o'clock.
Always colder and colder.
Yeah, it is too. So what do we make? You got some stats there, Rick. Can you make I'll
try and make something of it. There's a lot of stats that I'm a little bit unsure of, but major stats winners this time. We'll look at the Cannons at the moment, and we've got Musa across half back with 10 possessions,
Ismail,
8 kicks and 2 handballs. We've got Hannah, tall defender who's doing very well, 12 possessions.
199 centimetres tall.
Very tall.
Daniel
but
Hannah.
He's mobile, isn't he?
Yeah.
You wouldn't
pick it just
pick him
from
as a lanky tall.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see if they ever get him to do any ruck work. But Browning's had 11, Ty Browning, and major ball winners, Gentile with 9, Evans with 8, Podaski with 9, and Taylor with 9. Taylor really worked his way into the game with 7 possessions that quarter, probably their best player of the quarter. We've also got Regaley, number 55, with 8 possessions overall for the Cannons. So, geez, they bounced back. They didn't have that fire in the belly in that first quarter, but they definitely erased that and turned things around in that second quarter. They were terrific, the Cannons.
It was when the game opened up that it really suited their game style, and that's what got them back on top. So they'd be, as Ian said during half-time, they'd be hoping to keep that game style going, whereas I think the Knights would prefer to shrink it back down.
Now, all the goals, I believe, have come from the city end of the ground, and so we haven't had any at that northern end. And here they go, and Calder to start the third quarter, pump it inside 50. We've got a battle on our hands. Well shark by O'Sullivan, who gets it forward. Here's a chance for a goal. Ball wasn't taken, and the Knights were clear. That's Gardner now. Runs across half back, goes on the left, That was a horrible kick, and it's opened up the door, and Mitch Wild works it through. Out of bounds it goes. So there was an opportunity for Calder to get the first score on that first goal on the northern end, and missed an opportunity. So the Northern Knights, they'll have to be on their game this quarter because the Cannons are coming. Big punch away by Browning. That's sharked, a nice kick by Ramsey around the corner. It holds up in the breeze, and a nice mark to Sturgis, who's doing well. He'll get it back, and Sturgis goes to centre half back, and Gardner. He'll go on the right, and he'll kick it really well. He found his man around the corner. That was well done to Della Rocca, and Della Rocca goes. Little spoil. Potter wheels around. Oh, handball could cause trouble to Gardner. He got tackled. Did well to get the handball out. But now Calder through Browning will get it.
Oh, no.
He lost it. Tried some fancy footwork. Good gang tackling again by Calder. Just held up the Knights again. Now Potter loves a handball. Gives it inside. This opens the door for Scholl. He can't quite break away just yet. And they're all on top of it. They might get pinged here. No, the umpire will ball it up.
Loving the urgency from the Cannons. Loving their attack at the footy.
2 minutes into the third quarter, 29 plays 21, the Knights hold sway by 8. Ball comes out. Ramsey gets it to Brownie, intercepted by Brodie Bell, who gets it, dispossessed. They've still got the footy. Gardner, quick left footer. Nice neat play there by Sonny Brazier. Good touch for a big man. Up forward. Correct. Naylor, left boot. Oh, nice straight laser beam into Din Tinasante, who squares the ball up to Gillard, who again squares it up wide. Mark taken. Knights go inside 50. Intercept mark to big Daniel Hanna.
Not happy with that.
They switch play. They go to centre wing. Abuid grabs it. Kicks long up to half forward. Reddick tries to take the one-hander. Just goes over the boundary line out of bounds right in front of the grandstand. And the ball will be thrown in. We are 50, 70 metres around from the Cannons' goal. They are going to the Grand Boulevard or northern end of Rams Arena. In she goes. Hallybone, front position. Brodie Bell can't quite take it. Brazier caught high. What's Sonny's stats? He's 190 and 89. Brazier, centimetre perfect pass to Gardner. He's on the corner of the centre square. 50 metres. Now they need to make him pay, don't they, Maddo?
They certainly do. The last couple of minutes, they've been hitting up targets, the Northern Knights, and just maintaining possession of the footy. I think that's what they need to do, just slow the tempo of the game down.
Gardner spears in a pass but misses the target, and the mark is taken by Cooper Lamb in the heart of defensive 50. He's going to come to the eastern side of the ground. He finds Hanna. Daniel Hanna. He's on half back. He kicks to centre wing. Pajaski just misses it over the boundary line, out of bounds. 21 plays 29, 4 minutes into the third quarter on the Technica time clock.
Their last two entries inside attacking 50, the Northern Knights, they've just rushed it a little bit and they haven't hit up the target as they have been throughout the other areas of the ground. So that's what's letting them down early in this third term.
Special comments for Cowboys cash and carry. Throw in at half forward for the Knights. Tap down to the front. Abued gets it. And he'll try and work it out of trouble. He gets tripped and lost it. Taylor with the handoff. He'll give it out. And lucky kick, inboard it goes. Taken by Regali. They'll work it down towards half forward.
Sturgis
by Sturgis. Been a real good defender today for the Knights.
An executive maintenance mark of the day. Clubhouse leader.
Leader for sure at the 5 minute mark of the third quarter. And now Potter will run around. He loves the handball, gives it off. They'll work it back again and steer it towards centre wing. Play on's a call. They've got a runner, and Potter will run towards 50. Inside it goes. Didn't quite hit the target. Play on's a call. Knights getting players back. Oh, just a fumble at the crucial moment as a snap-on goal was about to be had. The Wild mops up in the centre square and takes the mark. Mitch Wild kicks long to the goal square. Over the back it goes. Here's a chance. They'll have a chance here. Grace runs into goal and dribbles it wide.
Rick.
Should have made something of that.
But again, the entry inside 50. It was just a high one to the top of the goal square. Wait for someone to make the lead. They were doing that in the first half. They're not doing it in the second half. It's costing them.
Jason Dunstall won't like that dribble kick.
He will not like that dribble kick.
But it should have been an easy goal from there.
Buoyed. His kick is intercepted. Knight's going to send it back inside 50 or to the top of the 50. And the mark is taken here by Sonny Brazier.
He's been impressive today.
And by the look of him, I reckon he thinks this is well within his distance.
A little bit of right to left.
Kicking straight into the wind.
Sonny Brazier. He is 190 and 89. Nice size. Brazier comes in. Kicks right to left. Well called. Just about a centimetre too short. It's on the goal line. It's in the goal square. It's a hot footy to be won. Little pack develops. Knights trying to feed the ball out of the scrum. The umpire will have no choice but to come in and ball this up. We are 12.5 metres out from the Knights' goal. It's a long time since they kicked one. Been stuck on 4 goals for a hell of a long time. They're going to clear it again. The Cannons through Regaley. Kicks to centre wing. Reddick had too many to beat. And the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Isn't Naylor a likely type?
He is.
I know I had my eyes on him last year for the Northern Knights. He's overaged, isn't he now?
I think he might be.
But gee, he's a strong player.
20th of September 1999, his birthday.
Ball thrown in. Just holds up in the breeze a little bit. Comes over the back to a buoy. He's been excellent. Looking for Reddick. Just drops a hot potato. And the umpire comes in and will ball this up. We're bang on centre wing between the centre square and the boundary line. 8 minutes into this quarter. No goals. Hallybone. O'Sullivan. Reddick. Good driver in heavy traffic. They get it across. Fire brace. Dances this way. Dances that way. Spots up O'Sullivan. Oh, just took it a little bit easy at the end there. Had plenty of the Sharon.
Nice delivery by Jake.
It was. Just set it up perfectly.
And there'll be a ball in just under the commentary, 60 metres out from the Calder Cannons goal. And the throw in. Tap it down to the front. This will allow Gardner in. He gives off a cheeky handball, not quite really disposed of properly.
Incorrect.
And we'll
not you, the
up.
disposal.
Yeah, I thought he could have been pinged. But player who's had a good game comes up with it. Davies. Oh, he's run into trouble there. He got a handball out to no one. Fire brace. He'll have a shot on goal. No, he elects to go to Taylor. Ball bounces towards Taylor. Gets a little fresh area in. Dribbles it along.
And we still haven't had a goal at that
That
end.
should have been a goal.
Too unselfish there.
Yeah, he would have been better off going on the left.
Or do those little banana benders
Yeah.
those blokes do. Ball to be brought back in by the Northern Knights. 3-4-22 on the NG scoreboard. 4-6-30 the Northern Knights. 8 points the difference. We're almost 10 minutes in on the Technica time clock. As Joel Randall handballs over the top to Sturgis. Sturgis kicks into the middle to Brodie Bell. He'll want to play on. Play on he does. Gets onto the right boot. Kicks to half forward. Ball
Couldn't have fit him up
intercepted.
any better, could he?
And as Matto giving us the special comments for Cowboys Cash and Carry pointed out, their entries inside 50 just need to pick up a little bit. Now the Knights. This will be Randall. Gets it out wide, looking for Bell. There's an interception. Cannons starting to come forward in waves. Could have been hands in the back against Browning. They get the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. Have we got 41 for the Northern Knights?
We do. Xavier Bateman.
Xavier Bateman. All right, ball to be thrown in. We are 65 metres around from the Cannons' goal. Barrow gets the tap down, goes to Browning of the Cannons. His handball is smothered. They get the ball back out. Brazier, long kick, man all on his own. They'll be off here. They kick to the forward line. Just drop what he probably should have taken, Lucente. Now the ball's in dispute. Della Rocca gets it, hunts it. Wrapped up in a standing tackle. Umpire said, no, you did not get rid of it. And the free kick will go to the Calder Cannons. Half-back flank, western side of the ground. Cavallaro. Cavallaro told to play on. A little bit unsure. Just kicks it up along the line. This will be all Nick Barrow. Just comes off hands at the back. Gets a little sneaky handball out the back, but misses the target. Now they're a chance in the middle, dispossessed. Brody Bell, good work, good hands. They kick forward, hit Gillard in the back. Trying to get it back. Heavy traffic, not clean footy. Din Tenasante. Now Gillard, the skipper, around the Johnny Horner. Umpire comes back to the middle and says, all clear, that's a goal. Good goal to the captain. Captain's goal, Braden Gillard. And that's the first for the Northern Knights in a while. That should take them to 5-6-36 to the Calder Cannons 3-4-22 on the NG scoreboard. 12 and a half minutes in on the Technica time clock.
I'd just like to make special mention, Lamb has done a really good job in nullifying the influence of Hallabone, and that is certainly helping the Northern Knights win more centre clearances.
AFL Draft Central goal of the day contender,
I think he's in front there, Gillard.
And first goal since the first term for the Northern Knights.
So Browning spears it around to the wing, centre wing to Badaski. Badaski will take it forward, but he goes into the middle. Spears a pass. Some of the foot passing's been good today from both teams, and Badaski gets it again. He's in the middle. He'll kick it down the middle and over the back. Barrow will get this. No, he brings it to ground. There's that man again, Sturgis, with the handoff. And they find their man further afield there. And Gillard breaks away and kicks towards the scoreboard. Centre wing, outer side of Rams Arena. And there'll be a free kick paid for holding. And this time it'll go in the way of Castagna. Little Castagna goes inboard to Yogi. Yogi, he'll go towards a lead at half forward. Good juggling mark. And that was taken by Lucente, who's had his moments in this game. Got a goal early in the first term. And we're right behind this. A little bit of right, I'd say right goalpost might just bring it back nicely.
This could be one of those games where you have 3 or 4 minutes of really good footy and you might win the game because of it.
Could break it open with this goal, that's for sure. So Lucente comes in, kicks right to left, and awkward kick, but it looked good in the end. And he puts it through for his second. And James Lucente on the board for 2 goals, and that moves the Northern Knights on to 6-6-42 to the Calder Cannons 3-4-22. That is on the NG scoreboard, and we are 15 minutes in to this third quarter on the Technica time clock.
Much better movement there from the Knights inside attacking 50. They hit up the targets, they rewarded the lead, they got the goal, and it's hard to think after the first 10 minutes of the term we've got a 20-point lead the way of the Knights.
Yogi puts up a little dinky, gets it over to Bateman on the wing. He'll need to be elusive or quick, he's both. He goes back inboard, a little bit too much on it for Wild. It comes over the back for the Cannons through Calder. Calder, he's been good to date as the ball's kicked forward. Oh, the big men fly over the back, might have been interference. Good call, umpire.
Did you mean that one, Crooksy?
Yes, I did.
Very good.
as Davies. He goes laterally. Now the Knights just wanting to draw a bit of the play forward a bit. They're going to come out to the eastern side. Kicks mother. Gee, really telegraphed it. Now Bateman's got it. Dispossessed. Taylor slips at the crucial time. They're over the top of it. Over the top of it. Umpire comes in and will ball it up. We're just inside 50. Inside forward 50 for the Cannons. They need a goal. We're halfway through the third term. It's kicked around the corner by Podjaski, close to the boundary line, over the boundary line. And the Knights will take the resultant free kick.
Touched off the boot.
Touched off the boot.
Boundary umpire was right onto it.
Good call by the boundary umpire. We don't get to sit near the umpires like we used to, Rick, do we? Now we used to sit next to the umpires up here. Podjaski dispossessed. Ball spits clear. They're running away from goal to get closer to it. Reddick on the little left boot gets it across. Ooh. Brodie Bell drops a mark but lays a tackle. Thought he was a bit stiff. Thought the tackle was legal. The umpire saw it differently, and Dylan Lant will take the resultant free kick. I think this might be just a bit beyond him. The left footer tries to run around, gets inside 50, beyond him. Jeez.
He ran into the 50.
And he's almost put it in Roxburgh Park. Well, no, Roxburgh Park's the other way, is it? Where are we? Craigieburn. Almost put into Wallen. As O'Sullivan brings the ball in. Comes in close. That wasn't O'Sullivan, sorry. That was Naylor brought the ball back in. Knight, Davies, dispossessed. Cannons bringing the ball back inside 50. Brodie Bell intercepts but gets dispossessed straight away. Free kick to the Calder Cannons just on 50.
Cannons tackling paying off at the moment with a couple of free kicks rewarded. And Curtis, no, it's not Curtis. Yeah, it is Curtis Taylor. Sounds like a movie star, doesn't he?
Yeah, Curtis Taylor and Joel Naylor.
So Taylor got a touch of class about him, this lad.
It is very movie star-like.
He'll come in from around the 50 or just inside when he kicks it. And he kicks it more to the top of the square. Up they go, big fly, punch down. They should be able to clear, and a wide ball by Carafa. And that won't be deliberate, I don't think. No, the umpire said that was just a poor kick.
He put it lovely on the outside of his right boot.
I think you're a bit infatuated with this rule, Crooksy.
They all normally played against the teams that I barrack for. Not that I'm barracking for anyone today. Ball thrown in. Hallibone does the double-handed towards the boundary line, and it is over the boundary line and out of bounds.
He's gone a bit quiet, Hallibone, so the Knights will look to him to try and pick it up a bit.
Ball to be thrown in. We're about 23 metres around from the Cannons' goal. We're 19 minutes into this third quarter. No goals scored at this end yet. Knights. Nice work by hand over to Wild. He just misses his target. Ned Gentile goes sideways. Finds Scholl. Scholl's a couple of kicks out from goal. Gives a bit of direction. Says he'll go long. It's set up for the big men fly. Comes over the back. Hallibone, it's a dirty big up and under. Comes off the fists. Now the race is on. They're after it. Scholl turns around onto the favoured left. Got to go back to the right. On the right boot. Puts in a nice pass. Drop what was a tough chance in slips. Ball spits out again and tapped over the line by Lamb. Cooper Lamb.
Gee, busy interchange at that point. They'll run left, right and centre.
That's worse than Burke Street.
It is Flinders Street Station at about 5:05. In she goes, right in front of us here, in front of the commentary position. Lamb gets the front position. Driven into the ground is Carafa. No free kick. Hot footy. Bell. This is just a hot potato, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. 20 minutes in, 19 points the difference. Knights had the better of them in this quarter. Up they go. Hallibone gets full use of the ball. Taps it towards the centre of the ground. Now Potter can't quite get it. Carafa, Bell. Oh, slammed into the dirt. And the umpire will come in and ball this up again.
Not sure whether it's fatigue setting into the game, but it's just tightened up once again. The congested passages of play that we saw in the first quarter has returned, which just means that it's scrappy footy at the moment.
Back in it again. The scrap continues. As we said earlier, Matto, it was like that. The Knights had about a 3-minute window of open, good footy. They capitalised on that period for their inside 50s, and now we're back to the scrap again.
Tap down. O'Sullivan went without it. Oh, that could be in the back. Oh no, it's a hold to. This will go to O'Sullivan. He'll chip it inboard.
Easy.
Beautifully by Ditton Asante. And he goes towards centre half forward to the mark by Della Rocca. Oh, he went to play on and slipped over. Probably lucky. So he should get the distance from 48 metres, I'd say.
Uzelac, Rick. Steve Uzelac.
It is Uzelac.
Or Stefan, I should say.
Stefan Uzelac. He's a big boy, 193 and 100.
Played a great game in defence last week.
And had a shot for goal earlier, which I think he'd rather forget.
So let's see if he can straighten things up here and go right to left, and he goes right to left, all right.
Another one on the floor.
On the left. Oh dear.
Stop instructing him, Rick, on what to do, will you?
I think I might get Uzelac moved back to the back line. But anyway, they bring it forward, Calder. They'll get it out here. Hannah works it out with a nice handball. He's found Podaski. He'll go wide.
Oh, great vision.
Speared a pass. And out in the Doyle direction, he goes wider again. Browning. Handballs nicely. And they'll get another handball back to Browning. Runs on. Goes to half forward. Booms it down towards a dangerous spot in the goal square. Off the ground it goes and misses.
Oh.
Remember how you
should have made more of that.
Crooksy, remember how you said there's a window where you capitalise? The Cannons have had 2 opportunities like that in this term, and they haven't capitalised.
3-goal margin. Still probably not enough the way the scoring's going at the moment, but Naylor's the target here. He gets clobbered, gets up straight away, good to see. Gives off the hand-off to Carafa. He does well. Gets it back, they'll chip it around, and Nala went without it. Back inside to a dangerous spot, forward pocket for the Cannons, out of bounds it goes.
There's a minute and a half to go. The Knights don't want to give up a goal here. They want to go in 18 points up.
They want the momentum because it's been their quarter. They've restricted the Calder Cannons' entries inside attacking 50. They've got a couple of goals on the board. They just need to lock it in the remaining, what have we got, minute 5 seconds on the clock.
They ball it in and tap to the front.
Yep.
Here's a shot on goal.
What did I say?
That's the one
what did I say?
First goal to the northern end of the ground. And that, of course, brings the Cannons 2 goals behind. And that was Curtis Taylor. Class act rises to the top here, the cream, and Taylor gets the goal they needed.
That's not what the Knights needed, as we were just talking about. They'd restricted the Cannons up until that point. Just poor checking, I think, in that passage of play. It was congested once again. Cannons just continued to will, and we've had another piece of ill-disciplined play from the Northern Knights. For someone infringing the centre square, I believe it is, so it'll go the way of the Calder Cannons. They've got 10 seconds on the clock.
The ball goes inside 50, the big men fly. Oh, little fire brace, he's a dangerous player. They're trying to kill the ball, the Knights. Carafa spits it out, Potter turns into trouble, dispossessed, siren goes. And I reckon Justin Wenke, the coach of the Knights, would be glad to hear that hooter going off. The score at 3/4 time, 6-6-42. The Northern Knights, the Calder Cannons are 4-6-30. The goal kickers, please, Maddo.
For the Northern Knights, 2 to Braden Gillard and James Lucenti, and singles to Josh Dintino Sante and Patrick Della Rocca. And for the Calder Cannons, 2 to Curtis Taylor, with that one with about a minute left on the clock in that third term. Pajaski also with 1 and Calder with 1. Any updates on the stats, Siobhan? Both players seem to be a little quieter in that term.
Definitely. Pajaski had 5 disposals for that quarter. Those disposals are really good. His vision is definitely a standout in his game, but I noticed that in that third quarter, Tom Halliburton definitely lost his dominance in the ruck. Lamb and the other players that Calder had going through the ruck did a really good job in nullifying his influence, and I think that's why Calder kind of got on top in the midfield, but again, the Knights did a good job, especially when Halliburton wasn't winning the ruck contest, to still get the ball forward in the midfield. They'd be looking for him to lift in the last quarter.
And mate, just before we go to the break, 5 scoring shots to the Cannons in that quarter to 3 from the Northern Knights, if my maths is correct. But it just goes to show Cannons had more opportunities but didn't capitalise.
We'll take a break. Do not go anywhere. You've got the close one here. It's the Cannons and the Knights, round 7 action on TAC Cup Radio.
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. Cowboys Cash and Carry has moved. They can now be found at 694 High Street, Epping, in the hub in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza. And to celebrate the move, they have 50,000 pairs of men's and ladies' denim. A huge range of styles, including Kenji, Maya, Maddox, that normally retail for $100, Cowboys price between $10 and $15. That's right, between $10 and $15. Open 7 days a week. Get along to Cowboys Cash and Carry in the Homemaker Centre opposite Epping Plaza. Executive Maintenance has grown to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio. Another year of TAC Cup football, and your number 1 AFL draft site is back and bigger than ever. AdZ Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise the way AFL draft content is reported. In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central. Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it! He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com.
On taccup.com.au, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Welcome back to Rams Arena. Calder Cannons 4-6-30, trailing the Northern Knights 6-6-42. But Rick, the Calder Cannons might just have a little bit of momentum heading into the final term, given their goal at the 24-minute mark of the third.
Yeah, I think we're in for a good final quarter with Yeah, the last goal, just pegging it back to 12 points, and we know that the city end of the ground has been the scoring end today, with only one goal now late to the northern end of the ground, and the northern end's where the Knights are kicking to this quarter, and they hold a 2-goal lead, so it looks like we're going to be in for a close battle in the final quarter.
Seems as though when the game's tight and that congested footy that we've seen throughout the game, it favours the Northern Knights. The last couple of entries inside attacking 50 for the Calder Cannons have been over the top of the pack to allow those small forwards to run onto the footy, which creates that bit of flair and excitement that I like to see from the Cannons. Northern Knights, I think, just have to slow the tempo right down if they're any chance to win, or they're in front. But if I feel as if the Cannons have got more of that, they're snowballing at the moment.
Yep.
There's one player that I think needs to lift, and this player might get the Knights over the line. That's Lockie Potter. If he can use his speed and break the lines, I feel like the Knights will definitely hold their lead and may win the game. He hasn't had too much of an influence on the game yet, but if he can get his speed and line-breaking ability into the game, it'll go a long way for the Knights' victory.
Yeah, I think the Knights have got to use it a bit better out of those congested battles as well. Potter and Gardner have got a bit of the ball, but haven't been as clean to foot to hand as what they'd like to be. So if those two can get a bit more of it, like you said there, Siobhan, and use it a bit better, I think that's what the Knights need at this stage. They seem to be just working it forward, but they've got to start hitting up targets and hitting up leads up the ground, using it a bit better. I think that's been the difference in this last couple of quarters for them.
All right, back in the middle, last quarter action. There's 2 goals the difference. Traditional rivals kicking off a big day of footy here at Rams Arena.
And we've got the ruckman, Hallybone, and that's Lamb in there. Had a good battle today. Curtis Taylor in the middle with Gillard.
Ball held aloft. Take it away, Rick.
Umpire comes into the middle of Rams Arena for this final quarter. Lamb gets a nice tap out. Shark by Gillard. Lamp the smother. Yogi gives it across. There's Potter. Just got to use it. Oh, he ran back into trouble. And now they'll flick it across through Randall. Randall to Gardner. Gardner's had a lot of the ball. Let's see what he can do with it. He doesn't quite hit his man. Podaski intercepts. Now here comes Boket. Gives it to Hallybone, who throws it on the left to centre half forward. There goes Musa to drive it out, but lost it. Getting numbers back the Knights. Good tackling, Gillard. And we'll have a ball up for sure.
Player down for the Calder Cannons, just got to his feet, came off second best in that opening contest, just trying to pick up
Lamb.
So that's an important part of the Cannons, Cogs, and he
holding his shoulder.
Looks very much in distress.
Well, free kick to Hallybone. Hallybone, handball straight away. It's kick forward and mark taken here by Sonny Brazier.
Nice kick by Carafa, and Brazier didn't see any problems with that, Mark, did he?
Not one bit.
That injury to Cooper Lamb will definitely benefit the Northern Knights. Tom Hallybone might get on top.
Brazier, he's on a 50-degree angle. He's going to kick from 40 metres out. He starts it right, it remains right, and it's through for a behind. 6-7-43 NG scoreboard. Calder a 4-6-30. Cannons bring the ball back in. The sun is shining. Lovely long left foot kick right in front of us. Hannah at the back taps it over. Reddick. They're forcing the ball forward. Lant, Potter works him underneath it, then wheels around on the right boot and lays in a beautiful little pass to Brazier. Brazier squares it up to Carafa. Plenty of Cannons there. Hallybone, Carafa, sweeping handball out to Brazier. Brazier backwards to Gardner. Gardner off the side of the boot.
those two players we've mentioned, both had the ball, Gardner and Potter, and haven't hit their targets.
Brazier intercepts. Now, over the top. It's going to end up in the hands of Ryan Bokert, who just steadies and kicks into Carafa. Been a bit quiet, Ryan, this week compared to last week, but
he did well there.
Another casualty for the Cannons coming from the ground, Jeremy
Well,
O'Sullivan.
that would have been the ruck replacement too,
Yep.
O'Sullivan, so I don't know who they're going to throw in now.
They are they're two talls on the ground. I reckon they're going to have to throw Hannah in the ruck.
He's been great in defence, so that'll hurt them in that area of the ground.
Two down on the bench, the Calder Cannons.
Adam Carafa comes in, kicks. It's up, it's high, it comes back. Oh, just hit the Wilbur. Hit the Wilbur post through, another behind. 6:9:45 to 4:6:30. It is the Knights by, or it might be 6:8:44, by 14 points, 3.5 minutes in on the Technica time clock, Rick.
Intercept by the Knights at half forward now. Starting to get a bit of the ball, the Northern Knights. And is this Uzalak?
I'll just get him up in my... No, this is Della
I
Rocca.
get them mixed up. Della Rocca.
They look alike, Rick, and one's 20 and the other one's 28.
So Della Rocca from the boundary will take a good kick today, and he kicks towards goal. It
Tell
looks
you
pretty
what!
good.
Oh!
Hit the post.
God, you couldn't do
So
that
it's
if you
two
tried.
posters to the Knights. Could be costly.
Yeah, 3 scoring opportunities so far in the opening 4 minutes, and they've all been behinds for the Northern Knights.
15-point lead. Now Musa has it. Ismail Musa. He plays on, chips it inboard, and it's in half-back Nathan Croft. Plays on back to Musa, who's had a lot of the ball, and he'll drive it out of defence. Up to Pataski, who punches it down. Bit of a pack forming. Centre wing. The umpire ball it up. And the luminous sign, Calder 30, Northern 45, and that's on the NG scoreboard, 4.5 minutes into this final quarter.
Rick, who's doing the ruck work for the Cannons?
Hannah, he gets it down, but shark by Yoji. He gives it out. Gillard with the hand over the top. Thump forward. There goes Bokert, he lost it. Now they'll work it clear. Here they come. Scholl for the Calder Cannons. Spears it through. Dylan Ladd in the middle. Gets onto that left. Kicks towards half forward. We've got a race on our hands. Out in front. Barton tries to work it clear. He taps it forward into a dangerous spot. They can't break away. Either can the Knights here. Wild with the hand over to Potter. He runs into trouble. Gives off the handball. Wild goes back in and helps out. Can't quite break away. Another good tackle there. Now they'll chip it inboard. This is dangerous, but a mark intercepted, not paid. Uzalak forces it forward. Scholl grabs it. Dishes off the handball to Browning, who hooks it towards the puck. Oh, drop mark. Didn't quite take it. But Sturgis butters up. Gives off the handball. Gets it out to Gillard. He needs a kind bounce.
Oh, it doesn't
he lost position.
Yeah, gonna say. Gee,
Brooksy saw it.
Charlie.
Gillard doing well. Ran 50 metres. But play on. It was the call. And that turnover went to Calder.
Oh,
Calder slips over.
Oh,
my goodness.
Lord.
Well, that's the rule. He didn't call play on. Player slipped over trying to play on. And the umpire's probably right there.
Ooh.
Just didn't look like he'd played on for sure.
That'll be a free kick to Calder every day of the week. As Ismail Musa kicks deep inside 50. The big men fly. Comes to ground. Plenty of Cannons front and square. Trying to touch it in the goal square. Just forced over the boundary, over the point line. The goal line, 4:7:31, plays 6:9:45 on the NG scoreboard. 7 minutes in on the Technica time clock. As the Knights bring the ball back in through Sturgis. Sturgis looking for Harrison Grace. Flies for the mark, can't take it. Hannah switches it around. Now they go inboard. The Cannons, nowhere great to go at the moment. Eventually they go forward through Shoal. Shoal to Horro. Horro deep inside 50. Little flick over the back. Trying to get the ball. It's not clear yet. It's not safe for either. Potter, he'll get the gallops up. He flicks the handball out sideways to Grace. They go inboard. It ends up with Potter. He's going to get collared, driven into that Rams Arena turf. And the umpire will ball it up. We're inside the centre square.
Talk about that window. I reckon the window's there now for the Cannons. They need to capitalise while they've got momentum.
14 points the difference. 8 minutes into the last quarter. A little bit of a tumble turn there. Tackle from over the head. And the umpire will come in and ball this up again. We're right on the point of the square. Hannah and Hallybone. Lovely tap by Hallybone. Kick is smothered. Gentile. He spiked it. I don't know about that, but anyway, he's got it. Now he kicks it round the corner inside 50, and the mark is taken by Barton. Barton has marked this. How far out, Rick? About 40 metres out.
Oh, he'll kick,
man on the mark.
He'll kick from 46.
He is near enough to directly in front, maybe just the slightest of angles. He's got full set of goals to look at as Campbell Barton comes in, kicks off the boot and just gets to the left at the very end. And it's another behind, Matt, another missed opportunity. 4-8-32 to 6-9-45. 13 points the difference on the NG scoreboard, and we're 9 minutes in on the Technica time clock, Rick.
They'll play on towards the back pocket where they've got a loose man, and mark has been taken for the Knights. They'll work it through Gillard, been busy this quarter. Over the back it goes, Hannah with the intercept beautifully.
He's been impressive.
Done a good job, Hannah. And over the back he's gone. He's got his mate there in Croft. And he chips it inboard. Good use of the footy. They've just got to straighten it up and try and attack now. And Doyle has it in hand. Calder looking to attack. Calder wearing the pink jumpers today for breast cancer. And they go inboard. This time it's Reddick. Reddick will drive it to the pocket. Out in front, intercept mark that time to the Knights. Dintena Sante goes very wide to the pocket and they couldn't keep it in. Just got to do better than that.
With the two tools off the ground for the Knights, I expected them to kind of expose, yes, for the Cannons, to expose that, but the Cannons have done a good job by keeping the ball in their forward 50.
And just on that, Daniel Hannah has been impressive all day across half-back. He's now been thrown into the ruck duel, and even though they're tall, the Knights, he's putting up a fight.
Nice tap by Barrow. It's a big kick in hope. Bounces on between half-back and wing. Oh, crunching tackle by Naylor. They dispossess it. Now he's got the footy. He works through heavy traffic. Lays off a handball. Need to be clean. Oh, clean footy by the Knights. They kick to half forward. Plenty of cannons there. It's a bit of a funny old bounce. Now we've got Hallybone. He gets it. Dragged, tackled, kicked, shoveled out the back. Now the Cannons, they work right up against the boundary line. They keep it in. Northern Knights through Din Tinasante. Carafa. There's a free kick.
Didn't have it.
And the free kick will go to Cavallaro. Cavallaro, no one on the mark. They go sideways. He finds Browning. Browning points. He want to kick it. He's run a hell of a long way. Umpire thought it was within the required distance. Now the Cannons. Barton. Handballs over the top. Now we've got Firebrace. He takes off. It's a low kick inside 50. Lowered the eyes. Hit up a teammate. And
probably a good position to kick this from.
This is Dylan Lant.
Left footer.
He's a left footer. He's on the right side for a left footer. He'll kick from 45 metres out.
Had a cracking kick from about 49 earlier in the game. at the other end.
This will make it interesting if he can pop this little baby through. He kicks. He's skinny to the right the whole way through for another behind. 4.9.32 to 6.9.45. 2 goals of difference. NG scoreboard. 12.5 minutes in on the Technica time clock.
Now we've got Sturgis to kick out, and he'll go very wide to the outer side. Up they go, juggling and pretty close to an executive maintenance mark of the day, that one.
Davies.
They might have paid it a bit high.
Well, it was a high free kick.
And Davies, who's been good in defence, he's gone long, over the back. They just had too tall over there, Hannah. He goes wide. Gentile goes forward. Up they go. Pajaski with the fly. Brings it to ground. He gets it again. Drops the ball. And there was a free kick in the meantime. And that's paid to Reddick. He had a loose man inboard there. Decided he can kick it himself. He'll have a shot from 45 out on the boundary. Now he's found a loose man. And Hannah comes down to take the mark.
Lazy defending there for the Northern Knights.
They had 2 loose men there that they could have raffled it if they wanted.
13.5 minutes into the final quarter. Both sides have had opportunities in this final quarter. Calder want to make a mark. They need to do it now.
So Hannah comes in. And he kicks to the right and brings it back nicely. That's a goal to Hannah. And that is contender for the AFL Draft Central goal of the day. Nice kick with the wind. Got under it and put it through. And that's brought Calder back in. Very tight here. 5.9.39 to the Northern Knights. 6.9.45, a 1-goal margin. And we are 14 minutes in on the Technica time clock in the last quarter.
So Cannons are still 2 down on the bench, which means Hannah, the last goal kicker, has got to go into the ruck. He's doing it all in this final turn. Desperate stuff from Daniel Hannah.
Ball in the middle. Cannons going to get away again. Hannah, good please, a light at Rams Arena. He kicks the ball forward. Ball spat out. Now they're a chance again, the Cannons. They go forward through Ramsey. It is in this, just in front of the goals. Fire brace, he's dangerous. Potter breaks the tackle, spins out, takes a bounce, sweeps a handball. They go backwards. Oh, smother, desperate stuff. Great footy by the Calder Cannons. That was Nathan Croft.
I think they want it more at the moment, the Cannons.
They do. They're coming. They're coming. Ball to be thrown in. It's where the 50-metre arc meets the boundary line. Ball thrown in. Barrow. Hannah. Barrow gets it down. Little handball out sideways. Grace at the bottom of the pack. He's got the footy, but two of them have got the footy. He and a buoyed, and neither can dispose of it, so the umpire balls it up. Throws it in the air. Barrow, good tap. Grace tries to pick a man out with a handball, and now it's over the boundary line and out of bounds.
O'Sullivan just walking along the boundary line in front of us, trying to show that he's right to get another tool back on the ground for the Cannons, but looking the way he's walking, it's unlikely.
Barrow gets the tap. Ball spits out the back. It's kicked forward there through Yogi. Almost a nice trap by Naylor. The ball moves around again. We're close to centre wing. We are 16.5 minutes in. It is the Knights by a goal. They have led all day. The Cannons are coming hard. Tap down. Harrison Grace gets some space, kicks forward.
They haven't used it well enough, the Knights, in this second half. They've got to start hitting their targets up or they'll lose the game.
Similar pattern to last week's game, Crooksy, where the Knights just turned off in the second half a little bit.
Fell away. Ball thrown in. Barrow. Grace. Yogi. Now Musa to Hannah. Evans on the left boot. Kick smothered off the boot. He follows up. His handball smothered. Picked up by a Buaid. He kicks to the top of the 50. Almost a strong contested mark. Wild, he's caught. They spit the handball out. Firebrace, he's lightning. He flicks out a handball. Now the kick. Inside 50, they need a mark. It comes over to the back. Knights defending grimly, dispossessed. Now the Cannons have got it. They get it back. A snap. Oh no, it's across the face of goal. It's not even out of bounds. They need to be clean. They get it out to the skipper in Gillard. He sweeps a handball out wide. They're off to the races. They can clear the danger zone. They need to hit a target, and hit a target they do. They go forward. The Knights, they're inside 50. Oh, clever work there by Uzelak. He gets it. He's dispossessed. They're over the top of it. Now they get a kick up in hope. They've got Brazier and Naylor. Good defensive punch by the Cannons. The skipper in Gillard snaps. Behind.
Handy point.
HP 6:10:46. NG scoreboard 5:9:39. The Calder Cannons 18 and a half minutes in on the Technica time clock.
And they'll play on it full back here, and Cavallaro goes long. Abuid takes the mark, getting involved. He goes inboard. They'll work it to Scholl. Scholl streams down the ground, kicks towards half forward. Oh, good intercept mark. And that was taken across half back by Sturgis.
Yeah, that was
been very good all day. He goes to Mitch Wild, who's been good as well. Wild just unsure of where to go here, and he waits it beautifully and finds Gillard, who's been terrific in the second half. They bring it to ground, taken away again. Good 1-2 to Croft. They'll work it clear through Scholl, getting involved this quarter. There goes Musa, goes towards half forward. Little Jake Firebrace spins around, just got it out in time, but the Knights will support. Bit of a fresh air, but gets it again on the second go. They bring it through Bokert. Bokert with the hand. Back to Gillard, who goes wide, and they've found a man out there.
Carafa.
And that's Carafa. Carafa winds him and dines him and kicks it towards Naylor. Naylor, he can kick a long ball, but this time he's tumbled it
What
wrong.
a shocker. Not the kick, Rick. There was the pun about Carafa. That's what I'm saying was a shocker.
I think I need a carafe.
Brought 20 minutes in, 7 points the difference. It's up the Knights end. They're at the northern end of Rams Arena. Ball to be thrown in. Hallibone gets the double-hander down. Brazier can't get the ball onto his left boot. Slung around. Bell. It's on the goal line. Now Taylor for the Cannons. Underground handball give and get. Great work. Now the ball's taken by Harrison Grace. He's on the right boot. He spots up a man.
Didn't blaze away, did he?
No, he lowered his eyes. The required distance. We're on a bad angle here to tell that.
He
The
was
depth.
okay. 15.5 metres.
You happy with that? As Tommy Hallibone's got it.
He's not a bad kick, Hallibone. I'd nearly back him in.
Oh no, he gives it to Joel Naylor. Naylor, that's a better kick off the boot, but it's through for a behind.
Should have took it, the big ruckman.
Just hooked it. 6:11:47 to 5:9:39. 21 minutes and 20 seconds into this last quarter. As the Cannons, they've got to go long, they've got to go strong. They look over the back. Pajaski not in position. Naylor feeds the handball. Knights everywhere. Kick on goal. Oh, hits a post.
That's their third for the quarter.
At that end. Now they play on. They play on from the kick out. 48 plays 39. The Cannons. Harrison Grace marks it. Grace takes his time. He kicks it to the hot spot. Oh, Brazier flew, just got tripped, and there's a whistle on play. There's a free kick as to the Northern Knights.
A hold he paid.
In the middle of that pack, and It is going to Naylor, is it?
Yep.
Joel Naylor, and he's just taking his time.
I think he might have copped one in the ribs as they went up there.
He could have too.
Or the hip area.
Joel Naylor. This would be the sealer, Rick. He's going to line up. He'll kick from 28.5 metres out. He's on the slightest of angles, probably a 15-degree angle. Kicking to the northern end. Naylor comes in. Oh, scrubby kick off the boot, and it went through. Can you believe that? Well, you see it all here, don't you? That was an absolute Barry Crocker of a kick, and poor defence by the Cannons, Rick. They should have had someone back on the goal line there, and that just floated its way through. 7-12-54. The Northern Knights to the Calder Cannons. 5-9-39. 23 minutes in on the Technica time clock.
Yeah, he's getting involved, isn't he? That is Naylor, of course, and so is Harry Grace in the last few minutes. But play-on's a call now. They'll get it out through Browning. Intercepted there, and a high tackle to the Knights. They might just have a time on their side here with this lead. The lead is 15 points, and they'll kick along. And big fly over the back for an executive maintenance mark of the day. Yoji brings it in, and Sholu's been good in this quarter. Intercepts. He spears the pass to Musa, who's been a four-quarter player. Musa chips it inboard. Gardner with the spoil. Picked up by Croft. Bell puts his hand on. Musa again. They can't break away here, the Cannons. Knights getting players around, and the umpire will ball it up. 15 points the margin here at Rams Arena. 24.5 minutes into the final quarter. The Sirens not far off us, and the Northern Knights look like running out winners at this stage. Or Halliburton with the tap out. Gets it again. Gentile gets caught in the middle, holding the ball. And Gillard, who's been superb.
Been great, hasn't he?
Yep. Has the free kick just forward of centre, and you'd think he'd go long, and he goes a bit wide, but spots his man up beautifully. And a nice mark to Rafa. He'll have a shot from 52 metres out. Always testing on a day like today, but he might have that breeze just taking it left to right here if he gets onto one. So he'll take the shot from 52 metres out and kicks long, and I think he got it after the siren goal to Carafa, and that spreads the margin out to 21-point victory for the Northern Knights, and they were good in that last quarter when it counted. The Northern Knights, 8-12-60, have defeated Calder 5-9-39 in what was an entertaining game. Low scoring, but entertaining.
It was an entertaining game, and I reckon the Knights won the game with about two bursts of good, or probably three bursts. The first part in the first quarter, they got away to a flyer. They had that little 3-minute purple patch in the third quarter, and then just when you thought the Cannons were going to overtake them in the last quarter, they just found space and time, and all those midfielders like Yoji and Gillard and Gardner and Bell and Carafa, they all found the ball and just found space and were very good working the ball forward, and probably made the most of their opportunities. Have you, any of you got, is Matt the one with the goals, or is Siobhan? Siobhan, you got the goals?
No, Matt has them.
Matt has them.
I've got Braden Gillard down with me, guys. Braden, fantastic game today from the Northern Knights, just scraping over the line in the end. How's it feel to get the win on the board?
Yeah, no, it's really good. They came at us in that third quarter last week against Murray. They got over the top of us in the third, so it was good to hold on strong and then in that last quarter fight to the end and get over the line. Good win.
Your own performance across, mainly across half-back and through the midfield, how do you rate it?
Was playing up forward, but
There you go, I'll stuff that up.
it was good to get in the forline for a week and get a couple of kicks, so yeah, good performance for the team.
What does that mean for you? A bit of a change in mindset if it's a change in position?
Yeah, well, coach just thought, get down forward this week, made Lachlan Scholl accountable, try to stop his influence off the half back and kick a couple of goals while I'm at it, so get up high up the ground and then wheel back and get to the contest and kick more goals.
Funny season so far for the Northern Knights, heading in towards the second half of it. What are some of the areas of improvement?
Our contested ball, we've been down a couple of weeks, but we need to get right back on that. And our tackling, we've been losing the tackles lately, so if we can keep up a contested ball and get the tackles high, we'll be in with a chance.
And for yourself, what about your own goals?
Well, we need to improve on ball use, decision-making sort of stuff, hit the scoreboard a bit, and guess it'll take care of itself.
I don't think you need to worry too much about that with 2 goals up forward today for the Northern Knights. Congratulations on a great performance.
Cheers, thanks.
Good work, Matthew, and he's going to cut one more from the pack. If he's just looking for someone there, as the skipper gets a bit of a rap. And he's got big Tom Hallibone with him. Always looks good when we get the tall ruckman with us, Matt.
Yeah, and I know he definitely played in the ruck today, so I won't stuff this one up. Tom, in that final term, they went a few down with a bit of height. Did that change your mindset to try and dominate in that final term?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I thought that because there was a mismatch there with Mitch Prask in the ruck and Daniel Herron in the ruck, I thought I could take full advantage, and I think I did. I thought I played really well in that last quarter, so I'm pretty happy.
You did play really well today, important in the Knights' cog work. Through the third term where you were struggling, what was the mindset of the group?
I think it was just trying to get on top because we're very defensive running back, so I think we just tried to get on top in there, and I think we had a good mindset going into the second half, and I think that showed, so I was really happy.
What's it like to feed it to a fairly strong midfield?
Oh, it's pretty exciting, pretty rewarding, you know. I guess that's what you meant to do as a ruckman, so I guess that's all I can do, and I just keep trying to do what I'm doing. So
we saw you last week too, kick a few goals. You enjoy playing up forward?
Yeah, it's good to get a chance. I guess have another string in my bow because ruckman can't be one-dimensional this time, so yeah, it's good to play forward and try and take a clunk and provide an option. So,
what are some of the areas of improvement to those other dimensions that you'll be looking at in the second half of 2018?
Probably clean hands below my knees. I guess I'm pretty tall, so I guess for a ruckman to have good clean hands and be able to pick the ball up and dish it out really quick is really good for a ruckman. So I think I'm getting better at that, and I think I'm taking on feedback and I'm going all right. So it's good.
You're going better than all right, mate. Go and enjoy the win.
Cheers.
Good work, Matto. And the Knights boys always like to have a victory over their arch rivals, the Cannons, and they will enjoy that victory, and that sort of keeps them at level pegging, I think. Or they're on the ladder, Rick. I think they were